Yo, what up, y'all? It's your boy Rob coming back at you once again with another live stream. So before we get started, you already know what to do. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit the bell icon twice. Smash the like button, share this video out to all of your followers, and let's get it cracking. All right. So shout out to everybody that's in the room. It's good to see each and every one of you. If you guys can hear me okay, please give me a thumbs up or a radiation emoji in the chat. If you guys cannot hear me or things are looking kind of bad on the screen, please give me a thumbs down or an angry face. All right. I'm going to try to get through this stuff as fast as I can so I'm not sitting up here wasting my time the entire day. I'm going to try to possibly do another live stream later on. We'll see how that works. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my man, AB Promotions. You already know what I'm talking about. Shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. What's good? I'm going to shout out everybody that's in here early. It's good to see y'all. Shout out to Carlton Way. What's good with it, bro? Good to see you. Shout out to AB. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Shout out to Tedra. Shout out to DC Precise. And shout out to my man Win, Lose, or Rug. It's good to see y'all. So the plan was to talk about Elon Musk. All right. We was going to talk about Elon Musk. That's more of a, you know what I'm saying, live viewer deterrent than me actually hitting my live button. So what we're going to do before we talk about Elon Musk is we're going to take a look at these Kamala Harris receipts that I happened to stumble across right before I was getting the stream up for tomorrow that I'll be wasting my time doing. You know what I'm saying? There's been, you guys know about the controversy with Trump statements that he made at the unprofessional journalist association meeting that he had. These are a couple receipts from a couple years ago. And it's interesting because, you know, people swagger jack me all the time and run and repeat the stuff that I say all over the place. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to say something that hasn't been repeated, but I think that it should get repeated. It's interesting. The stuff that I think should get repeated doesn't. Stuff that, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of, I don't think really people should just kind of repeat stuff that I said all the time. You know what I'm saying? That stuff gets repeated for some reason, interestingly. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm going to ask you guys is, who is Kamala Harris getting the collard greens for? Because the reason why I asked that question is that when it comes to any kind of conversation about her family or any kind of interviews or any kind of media coverage with her family, I'm going to ask you guys this question. What part of her family do they show on TV? Do you ever see the collard green compatible part of the family ever? Anywhere? Have you ever seen them? Who they are? What's their names? Where they live at? What they look like? Has anybody ever seen them? Have they been interviewed by any news agency? The alleged collard green compatible family member, which is interesting because, you know, he's not even really collard green compatible, right? Technically. He was interviewed by Fox. What about anybody else? You guys seen any little girls running around with any barrettes in their hair? Anybody rocking a fro with a fist pick? Anything like that? Anything. Now, I'm going to reserve what I was about to say because I was about to say something that was true. And you know how people feel about the truth. So, going to hold off on what I was going to say there. Shout out to my man DSB. Definitely appreciate it. Make sure y'all show DSB some love for standing on business for 18 months. Definitely appreciate you, bro.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Now I'm going somewhere with this, right? I'm going somewhere with this. Why haven't we seen any of these people? Now, you got people up there that are trying to shame people about asking about this stuff. There's no shame in asking about this stuff. And the reason why there's no shame in asking about this stuff is because it's about integrity and reputation. Now, we all know integrity and reputation means absolutely nothing, right? Because you could flip-flop like summertime on an OnlyFans foot on YouTube, and it's just all good. Nobody cares. Nobody cares, especially if you got massive amounts of subscribers. Nobody cares, right? However, you know, I don't really know how you can hold somebody, quote unquote, accountable on YouTube. You really can't. It's an illusion. people do these live streams and think that a live stream somehow holds you accountable. The only live stream that holds anybody accountable is at the municipal court when they live stream your court appearance and you're in front of a judge or a magistrate or an arbitrator. That's the only time a live stream actually holds anybody accountable. But sure, you know what I'm saying? We'll just go through the actions, right? And say that it does, even though it doesn't. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. What's good with it, bro? All right. Where's the collard green people? Because if she's being sold as a particular product, she should fit the product specifications. That's stupid. Like, what if you went to a car dealership and you said, I want to make sure that I get this Nissan Maxima, right? And it doesn't have any of the labels, no VIN number, no anything on the car. And you don't really know. It could be an Altima. Could be a Sentra, souped up. You don't know. You buy it because you're under the impression it's one thing. You get home, you thought it was an automatic. Turns out it's a manual. You thought it was an 8-cylinder. Turns out it's a 6. You thought it had rims on it. Turns out it's got hubcaps. Isn't that important? Shouldn't you know what you're purchasing? If political currency are votes, shouldn't you know what you're purchasing? Now, you know, if we look at history, doesn't really look like we got a lot of smart shoppers among us, does it? No, it doesn't. Doesn't look like the shoppers are too smart at all. That's okay, though, because we want to change that, right? So one of the pillars of shopping smart, if you ask me, one of the basic things would be to make sure that you're getting what you pay for. That would be like shopping 101. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to my man, AB Promotion. I definitely appreciate you, bro, for supporting the organization. Make sure y'all show AB some love, throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for my man, AB Promotions.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Green, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Yeah. And shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker says, what if you ordered a Whopper and it tastes like it's ground chicken or pork? Yeah. What if it is ground chicken or pork? Or what if you ordered a veggie Whopper and it's got a nice, juicy ground beef patty on it? What happens then? Shout out to AB Promotions. AB Promotions says, please don't tell the truth here. Please don't tell the truth here. So my question is, if everybody is entitled to the truth and should be able to have the truth in order to make a full assessment on whether you're making a wise or informed purchase or not, why are so many people attempting to use shaming language or attempting to shut down these conversations to get you to not do that? I have one simple question. Who's eating the greens? Who are the greens being prepared for? Where are these people? What do they look like? And can any of them tell us how they taste? I think those are extremely, extremely fair and civil questions. You can call me an agent. You can crash out. You can say we're COINTELPRO. You can say that we're Russian bots. You can do whatever you want. How about answer the question? How about give a viable answer where your tonsils are not going back and forth like an Everlast bag? Answer to the question. I don't think these are difficult or unfair. I've been equally critical to Kamala Harris and to Trump. If you ask me, both of them are scam artists for different reasons. But just because there's people that want to make sure that Kamala doesn't get criticized doesn't mean it's going to stop me from criticizing her, because there's not anything that's going to stop me from criticizing Trump. I'm criticizing all of these clowns. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I'm criticizing all of these clowns is because I say what I believe, what I say. And what I say is that neither of these candidates are worth a dingleberry. So there's that. Neither one of them is worth a dingleberry. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to take a trip to West Philadelphia, born and raised. We're going to take a trip to Philadelphia, and we're going to see what the good people of Philadelphia had to say about the comments that Trump made at the Journalists Association meeting, which we're going to talk about later on this week.
Former President Donald Trump is drawing controversy for a false statement in which he questioned Vice President Kamala Harris's racial identity.
Okay, now let's start it off rip. Let's get it started. Let's get it cracking. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Throw some like enforcers in the chat for Black Free Thinker. They said that this was a false statement. Here's my question for you guys. Is this a false statement? If this is a false statement, give me a thumbs up. If this is not a false statement, then give me a thumbs down. If you don't know, then give me your best explanation on what you think is going on here.
Former President Donald Trump is drawing controversy for a false statement in which he questioned Vice President Kamala Harris's racial identity.
I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she black?
And it was the same old show. The divisiveness and the disrespect.
CBS Philadelphia's Dan Snyder takes a look now at whether people think Trump's comments could have an impact.
Donald Trump is a racist.
Well, looks like we know how she feels. Looks like we know how she feels. Now, this is the SEIU. If I'm not mistaken, this is a union here. Got their hands in everything.
Snyder takes a look now at whether people think Trump's comments could have an impact.
Donald Trump is a racist, period.
No, I don't think he's a racist.
Varied reactions after former President Donald Trump's controversial comment. Philadelphia lawmakers and union leaders denounced Trump's remarks.
I stand here as a black man and a leader of 32BJ SEIU to say, Donald Trump, you have done nothing for the black community.
State Senator Vincent Hughes says he wasn't.
Now, let me ask you this question. All right. So he said that Donald Trump hasn't done anything for the black community. Here's my question. Let's name some people who have done things for the black community. I would go as far as to say that 0 U.S. politicians have done anything for the black community. And that's one of the reasons why we need to start shopping smart so that we can get some who do. Yeah. Shout out to AB. Exactly. Who has? Yeah. Believe it or not, win, lose, or rug. There was a place that I used to work at, and I used to, this union is crap. I'm going to put it like this. I was forced to pay union dues to this union. You know what I'm saying? I was forced to pay union dues to this union. When the union is bigger than the company that you work for and they get paid more money, as far as this whole idea of the quote unquote little guy or forgetting about the little guy, the union starts to sound like Stephen A. Smith. We don't care. You got an issue with work. We don't care. You know what I'm saying? We don't care.
Surprised by the comments made at yesterday's National Association of Black Journalists convention in Chicago and pointed to previous incidents like Trump's questioning of former President Barack Obama's birthplace. While those controversies haven't stopped Trump before, Hughes believes this time is different.
I think it's all sinking in. I think it's a collective of conversations built up over time.
The comment comes as Trump appears to be making inroads with black voters. Our latest CBS News poll from July shows black voters over.
I think that it's interesting that in a time, right, in a time where Trump is quote unquote making inroads with black voters, that he asked that question. Because, you know, I don't think that there's anything good that he's trying to do, right? Trying to understand people doesn't necessarily mean you're doing something good for them, right? But I would just go as far as to say, yeah, he's making inroads with black voters. And I would say that he's doing that to quote unquote understand black American voters. Like I said, it's clear Trump does his research, or either if he's got a team, his team does research. You know what I'm saying? Would you guys, if you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to my man, Al McCowan. for rejoining, re-upping on the membership. I definitely appreciate it, bro. Make sure you guys throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Al standing on business.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Right. Yeah, shout out to Win, Lose, and Rug. Yeah, SEIU is garbage, bro. They are garbage. And I'll tell you what else they do. They work with the place that they're hosted in. They work with them, and they never work with the union member, and they'll work with the company to actually get you out of there instead of actually fighting for you like a union is supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said, ugh, the fake Pan-African Democrat shill, flat blackness babble, courtesy of Negro puppets working for a W union. Facts. Shout out to Tedra. Tedra says they were upset about what Trump said, but they weren't upset that Kamala didn't decide to attend. Aren't the priorities interesting? Isn't that an interesting prioritization? Shout out to Carlton Wade. Carlton Wade said Trump has been watching the new black media. Hey, he may be in the chat now. You never know. First and foremost, the new black media don't claim me. And second of all, he might be sending them envelopes. You know what I'm saying? Because you know what I'm saying? They got it all down when it comes to Trump. You know what I'm saying? Some of them even trying to figure out, like, how can we fix this DEI hysteria that Trump has started? Like, just real interesting stuff. You know what I'm saying? Real interesting stuff. Just saying.
Overwhelmingly backing Vice President Harris, 76 to 21%. But that would mark a 13-point jump from Trump's finish 4 years ago. And former White House aide to George H.W. Bush, Joe Watkins, doesn't think Trump's comments hurt his standing.
Black voters who are not inclined to vote for him are not going to vote for him anyway. And for those black voters who might be inclined to give him a shot, he was able, certainly with those comments, to raise some questions for many of those voters.
Trump campaign officials on Thursday backed the former president's false claim and say it doesn't change their efforts. But Philly Democrats think the comment will have an impact.
It's the same message. We're saying, you want safer neighborhoods, stronger economy, safer borders, vote President Trump.
I can anticipate record turnout in many communities, especially in the black community.
Dan Snyder, CBS News, Philadelphia.
Now here go my thing, right? Listen, if there's record turnout, we should be getting record in return. We should be getting record in return. Record legislation, right? Record quid pro quo, right? That would be what would be expected. But there's nobody really talking about that. Nobody's really talking about that. Why not? Now, this was funny, right? You mentioned that things start sounding kind of Trumpy. They sound kind of Trumpy. You know what I'm saying? And people get weird. Well, why are you getting mad, right? Why are you getting mad or getting weird when I mention that your peoples is starting to sound Trumpy? Don't get mad at me because I'm not sounding Trumpy. You know what I'm saying? I sound the same as I have since day one. You know what I mean? Just saying. You got to ask these questions. And for real, I'm going to keep it a buck. That's one of the reasons why, you know what I'm saying? You see, look around. You don't see certain people don't come around no more. I'm not going to get on no train. Shout out to G Mars. What's good with it, bro? I'm not going to get on no train just because there's a cult on YouTube. I'm not intimidated by any of these people. You know what I'm saying? I'm not intimidated by any of these people on here. If I don't agree with a point or I don't agree with something, I'll say that I don't agree respectfully, and it is what it is. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like Cameron and Mace, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Now, I don't understand. This is what I don't understand. Why is it that when people see an inconsistency or they're dealing with an inconsistency, nobody wants to say anything about it? I'm not the one being inconsistent. You know what I'm saying? So if somebody brings an inconsistency to light, if people want to get all tight and weird, because I'm like, yo, this don't make any sense. Hey, don't get mad at me for saying it. That's the whole issue. As much as people talk about accountability, this ain't the accountability place. This ain't the accountability place. I don't know what this is on YouTube that people do, but I'm gonna tell you one thing that it's not. It's not accountability. It's not accountability. Because when you look past people being hypocritical as hell, that's not accountability. Now, I know, you know what I'm saying, it don't hit the same as when Kevin Samuels had a woman on the line, you know what I'm saying? But there's many different situations where, at the very least, consistency can be expected, or there should be an expected level of consistency. And my thing is, yo, y'all know how I feel. It don't even matter to me who you supporting, right? Just be honest with it and keep it consistent and keep it a buck. Shout out to TD. That's one of the reasons why I respect TD. TD multiple times comes out and says it. I want Trump to win. Hey, I'm not mad at that. That's transparency. He said it. You know what time he's on. And he's not disrespectful to people who have differences of opinion to him. It's disrespect when you try to deceive people. And a lot of people is out here being deceived. And because of intimidation tactics and because of unfettered internet cult members, people are shaking in their boots to say something. Man, listen. Man, listen. Yeah. No, if it's inconsistent, it's inconsistent. We're going to talk about it and we're going to move on. The hard body people that instruct people on how to be a male, if they want to get offended about it, then be offended about it. But there's nothing disrespectful or out of the realms of why somebody should be like, yo, you know, this ain't consistent, but whatever. And I would suggest the adults, a lot of the adults who are on YouTube who consider themselves adults or identify as adults, act the way you enforce your children to act in school. I guarantee you that most people that got children on here do not tell their children, put your head down and run around scared if somebody says something and you don't like it, or if somebody says something and it doesn't make sense. I guarantee you that's not how most people instruct their kids. Most people probably put their chest out and say, well, if somebody's bullying you or if somebody treat you kind of weird, you better not be the one that come back home looking like you got beat up. Okay, well, carry yourself the same way. Carry yourself at the bare minimum the way you expect your children to carry themselves when they're in school. Is that fair? If you guys think that that's fair, give me a thumbs up. If you don't, then give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Win Loser Rug. Win Loser Rug said it's almost like the more followers you have, the more inconsistent you can be. Once you have the followers, they don't go away. Yeah, that's exactly what that's. Again, I got to give credit to, you know what I'm saying, Thai City. Subscriber supremacy is real. That is so real. You know what I'm saying? So real. Accurate 100% concept. Shout out to MD Williams. What's good with it, bro? Yeah, you'll see it all the time. Once you get to a certain level, you could do something that's completely hypocritical, and all you got to do is shame your subscribers, and all they'll do is just send you money, and you just keep it moving like nothing ever happened. And then there might be one or two people that be like, yo, this is weird. You know what I'm saying? This is weird. You have your people that this is weird. This is weird. The trolls will come in and attack that person, say that you hating, say that you jealous, all this stuff that has nothing to do with the critique that you have. And then life will just continue to go on, and it doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter. You guys been known this. I can't do that. I can't move like that. You know what I'm saying? I can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Delegates have started voting to formally choose their Democratic presidential nominee. It will almost certainly end with Harris as the official candidate. Voting opened this morning. They are filling out electronic ballots at homes instead of waiting until the party convention opens on August 19th. The virtual process will end on Monday. We're also keeping a close eye on Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro, who is said to be one of the front runners to become Harris's running mate. We learned this afternoon that Shapiro has canceled a trip to the Hamptons in New York this weekend, where he was supposed to hold several fundraisers. It's not clear what that actually means for Shapiro's chances of becoming the vice presidential pick. We do know that Shapiro spoke with Harris's campaign this week as part of the vetting process. Harris and her running mate, whoever it is, will hold their first rally together here in Philadelphia on Tuesday.
So we should know who. So that would be tomorrow. So we should know who the vice presidential pick is at least by later on today, right? Or by tomorrow. Yeah. Shout out to AB. Facts. When rational people don't go with the crowd, it usually means that they're onto something. Then they'll quote unquote call you a tether. Facts. Facts. Somebody called TD a tether in his comment section the other day. You know what I'm saying? But since, you know, there's nobody that's accountable for that whole thing, who's the person that you're gonna go to about it? Who's the OG that you're gonna say, yo, man, get the BGs under control, man? You know what I'm saying? They disrespecting out here, going in on people that ain't even bothering them for no reason. Up, you know what I'm saying? Nobody to go to. Convenient. You know what I'm saying? Convenient. Now, speaking of inconsistencies and double talk, Charlemagne followed suit with these people from Pennsylvania. All right. So let's see what Charlemagne has to say. Now, we know Charlemagne's been running the skeptic grift, right? And remember, Charlemagne sat up there and said, well, you know, a vote for Biden is a vote for Kamala. Yeah, I got to agree. Shout out to Carlton. Carlton says TD is not a tether. He rides for FBA. He rides harder for FBA than some FBA. Yeah, but then you got some FBA in his comment section calling them a tether. And then when it's time to call the 1-800 customer service number, like, hey, yo, somebody get your attack dogs. There's nobody on the other line because there's no top floor in the office building. Conveniently. You know what I'm saying? Conveniently.
Those are the exact words that former President Donald Trump is using to defend his appearance at the National Association of Black Journalists convention yesterday, an appearance in which he questioned Harris's race.
She was always of Indian heritage, and she was.
Now that you got people. Now this is another thing again, and this is something that's double talk that I find interesting, right? Literally, have you seen anybody come at Trump saying you're not qualified to talk about that? Have you seen anybody come at Trump with any type of idiotic internet cult rebuttal about this? You're not qualified to talk about this. You're not qualified to make that judgment. You're not qualified, blah, 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 blah. You this, you that. You can't say this. You can't say. Did anybody say any of that to Trump? Yeah. Shout out to Carl. Well, that's all some people know. That's all some people know. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to YJ Recon 33 Cosmos. YJ Recon 33 Cosmos says the mental illness is at an all-time high. I would agree. It's like if you ask these people why they're picking these people, they get offended when they have to use their brain. It's really sad. You're in the right place because we say that all the time and we show examples of it. Yeah. What now? Here's my question. Why do you guys think that is? Because I agree with that. If you guys agree with YJ's comment, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, then give me a thumbs down. I agree with that comment 100%, wholehearted. Shout out to MoFax. MoFax says, call TD a tether, but crickets on their leader meeting with Vlad the Vulture. These people are sick. I agree 110. I agree 5,000%. 5,000%. You know what I'm saying? 5,000%. Shout out to AW1. Yo, I found a video of Judge Joe Brown glazing Trump. We might have to react to it. We might have to react to it because birds of a feather flock together. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, Judge Joe Brown is definitely glazing Trump, giving him the spit shine. You know what I'm saying?
Only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black.
So see, here go, like I said, like we said the other day, here go Trump on the black emotion economy 2.0. The black emotion economy 2.0. So when he start moving his hands back and forth and he gets on the Umar Trump alter ego and he start hitting you with the pro-black, you built the country, you know what I'm saying? They not like you, you know what I'm saying? What else is another one? Black jobs. What actually ended up getting done? It threw the whole interview was thrown off, And the only thing that everybody is talking about is how Trump white validated you ain't like us. That's the only, all this is Trump white validated you ain't like us. And everybody is just giddy and happy about it. It's still ticker tape falling out of the sky from it. You know what I'm saying? Despite the fact that he has a point, and we're going to go into that point, I just think that it's fascinating that, you know what I'm saying, here it is, 2024, and people are still chest pounding, you know what I'm saying, the white validation as if it's some type of pro-blackness. I don't understand it. But this is what it is. This is what they do. We're going to go with it, right? Because this ain't the first time Trump did it. We just went down the list of times that he did it. And this is one of the things that he does to throw people off. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the things that he does to throw people off. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said, well, the FBA movement is reductionist and cultist. It's almost as if it's a MAGA for black people. I was watching a video where it was it was a leftist black news live stream, and they were saying it was MAGA adjacent. You know what I'm saying? The pseudo intellectualism of American exceptionalism. Yeah, facts. Super facts. You know what I'm saying?
She was always of Indian heritage, and she was only promoting Indian heritage. I didn't know she was black until a number of years ago when she happened to turn black, and now she wants to be known as black. So I don't know, is she Indian or is she?
Yeah, we'll see what kind of tangibles we get. Shout out to MoFax. MoFax says this isn't even a winning political strategy because it only radicalizes the black left. Yeah, well, we'll see how much we win. We'll see how many W's we have. I'm sure we'll get told we've got plenty of W's that nobody even knew were W's, but we'll see what we actually get. Now, mind you, people have already been blocked out of the cryptocurrency conversation because around these parts, cryptocurrency is a scam, right? But cryptocurrency is actually another conference that Kamala Harris decided not to show up to. I guess that was her trying to, I don't know, do the whole CP time thing, right? But what is Kamala Harris saying as far as cryptocurrency goes? What about the racial cryptocurrency gap? All of these things, they've all flown out the window. None of it matters anymore. Just like we said, I told you guys, none of this stuff matters. None of this stuff matters. You know what I'm saying? None of it. Yeah, shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen says he's just speaking from experience, but people tend to get mad at truth bombs when you speak on what we know as fact. Yeah, I agree. I agree. If you guys agree with Brooklyn Queen, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree with Brooklyn Queen, give me a thumbs down.
Black.
Of course, Harris is both and has been very clear about that. She spoke extensively about it. In fact, over the
now this woman here says that Harris is both, but we've talked about Harris's father, right, with the mixed ethnicity, with the questionable part of him that's brown, because we don't know, right? It's not definitive that it's black. We don't know. It could be Indian, right? And then the Irish. We've talked about that, right? So we don't know. Again, basing the blackness on the collard green compatibility per her, these are what she's done. Where is she? Who is she cooking the collard greens for? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said, I knew that she fell out over the border, but it's interesting that Trump has as many American grandparents as Vivek, but she found zero occasion to call him out on it, just like the Trumper posse. Yeah. Well, and then what about we showed the video that showed that Trump is a tether. How come Trump's not getting called a tether? We showed the proof. We showed the video. What's good for the goose is good for the gander, right? We against both parties, right?
The years, and to Charlemagne the God, host of the Breakfast Club radio show, she talked about it.
I'm black.
Yes.
And I'm proud of being black.
Absolutely.
And I
Now,
was
shout out to my man Patrick Tyler, because Patrick Tyler and TD was both saying we never heard Kamala Harris say she's black. There you go, right there on the Breakfast Club. There's her, quote unquote, professing, quote unquote, that she's black. Now, shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said, "Where's Ann Coulter?" Ann Coulter would just say, "Well, we're white. We get to gatekeep our race and ethnicity. You're black. We run things, and we made you the genetic trash can. It is what it is." That's what Ann Coulter would probably say. You know what I'm saying? Now, recently, Ann Coulter, she did do an interview, if I'm not mistaken, with Valuetainment, and she did one with News Nation. I'm not a big Ann Coulter fan. For whatever reason, a lot of people just really liked, they really like to watch people be racist in real time. It's not something that floats my boat. So I wasn't as fascinated with the Ann Coulter Vivek Ramaswamy exchange as a lot of people seem to be, because there was literally nothing that I got from it, because I have seen racist white people all my life. You know what I'm saying? But it did something for some people, and shout out to those people that it did something for. You know what I'm saying? But it did, but just, you know what I'm saying, seeing her be a Karen in real time, just it didn't do anything for me. You know what I'm saying? It didn't do anything for me. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said she's been clear about being Hindu and Indian only. I agree. And again, see, this is what I'm talking about, Brooklyn Queen. She keeps saying that she's black, right? But she's only been clear about being Hindu and Indian, and those are the only sides of her family that we've seen. These people want our imaginations and her old school salt and pepper hairstyle picks to fill in the blanks. Facts. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Win Lose a Rug. Win Lose a Rug said, "I was just thinking this the first time I heard her say that." Yeah. Shout out to Tedra. Tedra says she said it only on the Breakfast Club, but not on mainstream media. Facts. Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said Ann Coulter is crazy AF, which is a draw. Much like Mad Marge from GA. Bro, facts. Those is two birds of a feather that probably wouldn't get along at all if they met. And shout out to SOS Muscle Pain. Make sure you guys throw some liking forces in the chat for SOS Muscle Pain. If you've already liked the video, throw some likes in the chat. You know what I'm saying? Definitely help us out. If you haven't hit the like button yet, then go ahead and do that.
What about it?
I'm black.
Yes.
And I'm proud of being black.
Absolutely.
And I was born black. I will die black. And I'm
now here goes my thing, right? If where are her black family members at? Because like the thing is like she says that she's proud of being black, but like she never shows off any of her family members though. She only shows off the Indian family members. She don't show off the black family members. Where they at? Can we see? You got like a 5x8 family picture or anything that we could, like, you know what I'm saying?
proud of being black. And I'm not going to make any excuses for anybody because they don't understand.
Now, what does she mean? She's not going to make it. No, what do you mean you're not going to make any excuses? There's not any excuses that need to be made except for where's your proof? Because you're the one that made this claim. When you make a claim, the burden of proof is on you. Like you get people that come in, well, why are you asking these questions? I didn't make the claim. I never made any claims about anybody's blackness at all, ever. You know what I'm saying? I'm asking people to back up their claims with evidence. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Very simple. Is that fair? Now, here's the question. Is that fair? If that's fair, give me a thumbs up. If it's not fair, then give me a thumbs down. And shout out to everybody that's watching. I appreciate y'all. If y'all haven't hit that like button yet, take a moment, smash that like button. We got 20 people watching. We got 25 likes. If everybody could bang on that like button and get us to 40, that'd be great.
All right, Charlemagne the God's out front. He's also the author of a new book called Get Honest or Die Lying, Why Small Talk Sucks. An analysis of the moment in which we all live, this polarized world that we are living in. So Charlemagne, Trump's not backing away from the controversy. Today he went online, he shared a photo of Harris wearing a sari in a family photo, and he writes about it. Your warmth, friendship, and love of your Indian heritage are very much appreciated. Okay, So that's what he did today. Let me just ask it to you this way, though, Charlemagne. Does he deserve credit, as he says, for showing up at the Black journalist event yesterday?
Now, I want to ask you guys this question. Does Trump deserve credit for showing up at that Black journalist event? And we're going to talk about that probably later on in the week. But does he deserve credit? If you ask me, and I don't even like the guy, he showed up. That says more than somebody that didn't show up. Yeah, you deserve credit. Anybody gets credit wherever they go. If you show up, you get accounted for somewhere on an attendance sheet, on a roster. You get, yes, it means something if you show up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the specialist. What's good with it, bro? Shout out to Black Free Thinker. Black Free Thinker said, it's crazy. Kamala went to the record store and got some big old band standards on vinyl, and the FBA tribal chief tried to say that she's cosplaying. What if Doug turned her on to that genre? What if? Yeah. Yeah. Great point. There's a whole bunch of different rabbit holes that we could go down with as far as asking questions about that little particular situation in comparison, but we won't. We won't. Shout out to Brooklyn. Brooklyn Queen says, that's a soundbite. Are we sure that's her? We can't even get a profile of her face while she's saying it. No body language or facial analysis. Nope, not good enough. Yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I would agree. I mean, yeah, I think he deserves credit. Yeah, and shout out to Specialist. I agree 100%. Not a fan of Trump, but his ears to the street. Absolutely. Kamala Harris, I don't know if she's really shown any evidence that her ears to the street. And I would agree 100%. If he didn't, absolutely win, lose, or rug. If he didn't, there would have been criticism. He didn't even show up. He didn't even show up. He didn't even show up. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Tedra. Tedra said, people say they like for people to tell them how they feel about them. Kamala Harris has told us and shown us how she feels about Black people, and Black people are still supporting her. They're still supporting her with no changes. Like, she hasn't changed anything. Like, if something changed or there was some kind of commitment made, that could justify it for some people. I don't know if that's been done yet or not. We're going to look at her policies and stuff tomorrow. Make sure y'all watch this stream all the way through and hit the bell on the premiere window that it takes you to at the end so that y'all get a notification tomorrow. We're going to look at her policies and stuff tomorrow. But if she hasn't changed anything, I don't know why people would be jumping out the window. Like I said, my position on it always has been what them votes hitting for. What the votes hitting for. If the votes ain't hitting, then, you know what I'm saying, you ain't getting. Right?
Peace, Aaron. How are you, first and foremost? Does he deserve credit? No, he doesn't deserve credit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a damn about any of this. And
so Charlemagne doesn't care about any of this. We didn't ask you if you cared about any of it. And why doesn't somebody get credit for showing up in your world? You get credit every time you show up for work, and you work next to a scammer. So no credit. So it should literally just be the same as if he didn't show up. I don't understand how that works. And my question is, what type of legitimization is Charlemagne supposed to add to this? Like, is he some type of philosopher or something like that? Like, he's gonna make it legit, like, because he said it, like, we care. Like, what? I don't understand.
Does he deserve credit? No, he doesn't deserve credit. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't give a damn about any of this, and neither should you. Like, nobody in the media should care. Donald Trump doesn't have any new tricks. He focuses on
nobody should care. Now, check this out, right? He says that nobody should care. Shout out to Jermaine. What's good with it, bro? Nobody should care, but we're gonna go through multiple media outlets that literally talked about this. No one should care. Charlemagne the God, radio DJ, part of the media, says the media shouldn't care. We're going to show you multiple different news agencies that covered this very topic. But Charlemagne the God is saying that nobody should care. Here's my question. Why should nobody care? If nobody should care, then my question would be, then why is she selling herself as this? Sell us as a candidate. Go ahead and just all lives matter it, right? All lives matter it up and just sell us yourself as a candidate. Because if you the right all lives matter candidate, you could all lives matter it and sell it to people. If somebody, if Trump said, I care just as much about giving black people reparations as I care about Project 2025, my ears are open. What else you got? You know what I'm saying? Shout out to MoFax. MoFax said, this issue is not about loyalty to Kamala Harris. It's about black people's loyalty to the Democrats. They could run Big Bird and have black people convinced that he is a yellow bone. Yeah. Now we got to dive deep into that. Why is that? That right there, that simpleton mind trick that's easily done every single time. And then people run around and spin around in circles and say, well, how'd this happen? How'd this happen? That's the reason why, instead of getting cryptocurrency tech billionaires to talk to, that's why you get Megan Thee Stallion and Quavo. That's why. That's the reasons why. That's why people get lowbrow cheerleading pep rallies instead of actual conversations on how things are going to get done. That's why. Why would anybody change anything if the set? Why? Let me ask you guys this: would you start laying grenades down in your house if mouse traps worked? Like, no one's gonna do that. No, you're not gonna start laying grenades down in your house if mouse traps work. You're just gonna keep using mouse traps. Why? Because they work. That's not unfair. You know what I'm saying? So if the stupid stuff continues to work, I mean, who are we really supposed to be looking at here? If the old put a rapper on stage trick, you know how they said on the cartoons, whoa, they put the old rabbit in the hat trick. If the old rapper on stage trick works and it continues to work and there's a flat learning curve and literally nobody ever learns anything, why would anybody change? Anybody ever heard the phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Clearly, the trick ain't broke. Why would anybody fix it? I mean, we're doing things in a broken way, and we're not even fixing it. So why would the people that are doing things that work fix it? Shout out to Michael R. What's good with you, bro? Yeah, they giving us a pep rally. Give me a K. K. Give me a A. A. Give me a M. M. Yeah, that's what they doing. And then they even got the cheerleaders. They got the step show. They got the rapper. Have a good night. Meanwhile, you got Trump at the Bitcoin conference talking about building a tech empire. People they'll give you Quavo to talk about gun control to, and Megan Thee Stallion, who was part of some gun violence, because people's brains would explode talking about the complicated stuff that's going on at the other rallies, because people don't have the attention span. All of those things are available, though. All those things are available. Why do people ask to say, like, why? Look at please never ask this question again. If anybody is ever confused as to, quote unquote, why they put celebrities in front of our face, I always reference TD Media Group. Go look at TD Media Group's video library. Look at the videos that he's done that mention celebrities. Look at the videos that he's done about news topics that don't mention celebrities. Those numbers right there, remember those numbers right there every time you think about why a quote unquote celebrity gets put in your face. Remember them. The celebrity gets put in people's face because there's a demand for celebrities to be in people's face. That's why. Like, it's very simple. It's not rocket science. It's not magic. It's supply and demand, which, based on the way that the wealth gap is accelerating, there is a clear difficulty with the understanding of the science that encompasses supply and demand. You know what I'm saying? Now, shout out to Rick Guillory. Rick Guillory says the Democratic Party, with this rally for Kamala Harris in Atlanta, Georgia, it shows that they're not a serious party for us. Black Americans just ratchet. Some will fall for it. I think a lot fall for it. And here goes the thing, right? It's that it's that kind of thing where, have you ever seen somebody's parents say, well, if you don't understand what I'm saying, then maybe you'll understand pain. And then they give you a little spanking. There are some people that pride themselves on presenting themselves as so damn dumb that it's like, here, I'll throw this dog biscuit out here. Maybe you'll understand that. And then people are like, well, you know that I was trying to get your attention, but it wasn't that I was hungry. It was that I got to go to the bathroom. But they just threw something out there because it has to be given in the simplest form. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Black Free Thinker. You know what I'm saying? I mean, now, look, people can sit there and say the Democrat Party is not seriously for us, right? I wouldn't disagree with that. But at the same time, I got to ask this question. Are they speaking a language that gets responded to? Because I'm going to tell you, if you speak the language of information, I'm going to tell you right now, look at my channel numbers. Look at all those videos that I told people to look at. People don't respond to, here, I'm going to give you some information. People don't respond to that. These patterns follow themselves across many different planes. It's time for us to be honest about ourselves. It should have been time for us to be honest about ourselves, but while we're here, we're going to definitely do that. Maybe, right? Maybe the Democrats are speaking a language that they think that people have shown evidence that they'll respond to. If you don't know how to talk to somebody in the military, they use SOS code. You might not be able to talk to a computer. They'll use some type of computer code, binary maybe, Cobalt, JavaScript. Maybe that's a possibility. Because I'm going to tell you, if somebody comes and says, we got this AI, we got this cryptocurrency, no one's going to respond to that. And everybody's been told that those things are scams and Black people don't have time for that stuff. So no one's going to listen. Could there be a little bit of both? Shout out to Tedra. I got to agree. If you guys agree with Tedra, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Tedra says, I'm getting tired of hearing people say you hate Kamala and like Trump. I don't have emotions or feelings for either of them because I don't know either one of them personally. Facts. Facts. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to So Is Muscle Pain. So Is Muscle Pain says the Democratic Party is definitely not for the Black community, but the Black community responds to the DP. And there you go. I agree. I agree. You know what I'm saying? But because they always practice emotional extortion when it comes to the Black community. And now Trump has developed his own way of practicing emotional extortion when it comes to the Black community. Shout out to King Goma. King Goma says information is kryptonite to a person's ignorance. Yeah. So then you have to start to ask the question, do people just want to stay ignorant? Do they feel bothered when it comes to information? Let me ask you guys this. Everybody, now check this out, right? Because we got to be real with it. We got to be real with it. How many people are beating down the door asking about what Kamala Harris plans to do about improving tech businesses and, you know what I'm saying, Bitcoin and, you know what I'm saying, creating a technocracy and all of that? Is anybody beating down the door? Is Uncle Luke or Charlemagne saying, hey, when you going to talk to us about getting some of these fourth industrial revolution businesses up off the ground? Anybody saying? Nobody's saying that. No one is saying that. We're the only people saying any of that. And look at the audience over here. Very small channel, very small people in the live chat. So we may not like it, but the reality is the Democrats are speaking to people in a language that they can understand. Everybody else gets a fine tipped pen. They're using a jumbo crayon for us. People responding to the jumbo crayon. You know, one thing that I haven't seen anybody have an issue with those videos about Megan Thee Stallion and all that, and suggest something that they want to be talked to about. Besides the same old basic talking points that they received from somebody else. Anti-FBA hate crime bill and reparations, which should be standard issue. But nobody's saying anything else. Shout out to Code Force. Code Force says any African-American that supports a candidate that terrorized the African-American community is a disgrace. She locked black men for prison labor and women for truancy because they were poor. Yeah, I agree. Now, here goes my question. What do you think about those 90% of black people that voted for Biden? You feel the same way? I feel the same way. What about the people that's glazing Trump right now? You know his family was racist as hell, and one of his great-grandparents got in trouble for racial discrimination in his real estate business. Here's a better question. What politician has not terrorized the quote-unquote African-American community? Right now, we got a bipartisan effort with the Democrats and the Republicans flooding a lot of black American cities with migrants. So that's a bipartisan effort. Everybody's saying Trump is going to do mass deportations, but nobody's saying, well, you know, why is Greg Abbott not sending these people to the suburbs? And Greg Abbott is Trump's homie. Right? So what about that? Because see, we got to be consistent. Let me ask you guys this. How many African Americans work for Chase Bank? How many African Americans work for Standard Oil Company? How many African Americans work for Wells Fargo? Guess what all of those companies are? Guess what all those companies are? What about that work for the AT&T subsidiaries or the Bell companies? What about Ohio Edison or First Energy? What about Goodyear? Ford? What if you're black and you work for a company, which is most companies in the United States, that has an anti-black history? What should we do? Should you be punished for that? Where else you gonna work? Here's a better question. If you start a business, will your community keep you in business? I don't know. I'm gonna keep it a buck. I don't know. I can't say definitively yes or no. It's only like 3 or 4 people that can say, yeah, you know, we make a lucrative amount of money, you know what I'm saying, within our community. And then for the most part, if you did try to start a business, quote unquote, within your own community, many people in your own community would call you a grifter or call you a scammer or say that you charge too much or just boycott the business in general, because you can't even really get a lot of people to go shop or do business at a place where a bunch of black people work. Imagine if black people owned it. Oh my God, we definitely got to travel to the other side of town. How many times have y'all heard people say such foolishness as that? Yeah, life insurance, ING. Shout out to Dre D. Facts. Code 4 says, yes, Biden literally was friends with the Klansmen. There was a photo of his friend with a Klan hood in Congress. The U.S. is crazy. Yeah, you talking about Robert Byrd, right? One of Trump's, I think, uncles was also a Klansman. And I don't know if you're aware of this, but over 100 sitting members of Congress are Adosos, American descendants of slave owners. This is the United States. Anywhere where you look, anywhere where you move, anywhere where you breathe, you're going to be in contact with that. Trying to avoid WS in the United States and people trying to shame people for dealing with WS in the United States is like somebody saying, you know, you got to learn how to swim better if you dive in the water and get wet. Expecting people not to deal with or interact with WS in a WS saturated country is literally the same expectation of taking a swim and not getting wet. It's an insane expectation that everybody is levied by a lot of pseudo intellectuals. You know what I'm saying? And what I want people to do is just sit back and think about that. Yeah, Strom Thurmond, facts. You know what I'm saying?
On identity, he focuses on race, he focuses on gender. He makes white America think that the changing demographics of this country are a threat to their livelihood, and he makes them believe if we don't take things back to the way they were, probably 1950 something, then America as they know it will be ruined. It's just a distraction. Like Public Enemy had a album called Fear of a Black Planet. Trump tries to scare people with the fear of a black and brown America, and we have to stop falling for it. Like we just
now, I don't know why Charlemagne the God is saying you know what I'm saying, a black and brown America. I don't know what that's all about. But let me ask you guys this. When they first showed up, wasn't America, quote unquote, I guess you could say, black and brown? And here we are today. So to say somebody, I would go as far as to say a black and brown, quote unquote, America has already been dealt with. The demographic was changed. Here we are today. Is that fair to say? If that's fair to say, give me a thumbs up. If it's not fair to say, then give me a thumbs down. These are things that people say to make somebody feel good. Oh, they don't want to deal with a black America. They don't want to deal with a black and brown America. They dealt with a black and brown America, and now America is America. That's the reality. Oh, people don't like that. Of course you don't like it. How comfortable is anybody today? You know what I'm saying? That's just the reality of it. So what we can do is we can assess these situations fairly and honestly and actually try to fight this stuff, or, you know, do what most people are doing. Just try to get a buck and call it a day.
We just have to stop falling for it.
All right.
Like,
So today, though, you know, you talk about it. You tackled it on your show because it's out there. People are talking about it. One of your callers actually called in and said something about it that I wanted to play for everyone so you could explain sort of how this makes you think and feel. Here's the caller.
Man, to be honest, Camilla Harris, she already said that she wasn't black. It's all over everything. She done had interviews. I understand. But she already said that she's not black. She identifies as an Indian. When she was running and she did all of that in California. Yes, she has. No, she hasn't. Yes, she has.
Okay, so now I want you guys to pay very close attention to this little interview segment here. Shout out to my man, Patrick Tyler. You see how Charlemagne the God says, no, she didn't say this. No, she didn't say this. And if you guys haven't hit the like button yet, please help me out. Take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please hit the bell, subscribe to the channel, and also please share the stream to your social media. We got 38 people watching and we got 34 likes. If everybody could bang on that like button and get us to 60, that would be wonderful.
Yeah,
listen, have you ever read her book?
Shout out to James. What's good with you, bro?
No, I don't. I won't. Say what now?
In her book, she specifically talks about how, you know, her mom definitely instilled her Indian heritage in her, but also told her she was a black woman and raised her to be a proud black woman.
Okay, now here's the question. Here's the question. In her book, it specifically talks about how, you know, her mom definitely instilled her Indian heritage in her. So her mom put the Indian heritage in her, but also told her she was a black woman. Told her she was a black woman. Based on what? And raised her to be a proud black woman. How? Notice how it doesn't say anything about her getting anything from her dad. Okay, like, I see this, I read it, it still doesn't answer the question, but they gave this out as if this was some type of explanation. Let me ask you, I want you guys, what's wrong with this explanation? Shout out to MoFax. MoFax said, did you hear Envy say he doesn't read? I'm not surprised. And Envy would encourage other people not to read because he's a scammer and Rosewood associated scammers. You know what I'm saying? Well, even if her mom said that, how can her mom do that? What are the mechanics behind that? Shout out to Cameron. What's good with you, bro? What are the mechanics behind that? How can her mom do that? It doesn't make any sense. Where did it come from? That's like, where did it come from? How? This is supposed to be the explanation. So we're examining the explanation. In her book, she specifically talks about how, you know, her mom definitely instilled her Indian heritage in her. All she did was told her she was a black woman. There's a lot of people that passed to certain things that, you know what I'm saying? That girl that I've reacted to her videos before, her family told her that she was Italian. But then when she went back and did the research on it, she was Creole. You know what I'm saying? So her mom told her she was black. Now, where is the proof at? That her mom told her something that was based in fact and raised her to be a proud black woman. This, to me, is the same as Jonathan Majors saying that, you know, he wanted, what was the old girl named? Grace Jabari to be like Martin Luther King's wife. I don't understand. I mean, well, I don't get that. I don't understand. That's kind of weird. How can this, I don't, if I had a child that was white, I don't know how I could teach that child how to be white. I've never been white in my life, so I don't know how to, I wouldn't know how to do it. How would I do that? You know what I'm saying? So all I'm asking is, how did she do this? And where did it come from? That's it. A simple question. Fair question. How many people think that that's a fair question? If you think that that's a fair question, give me a thumbs up. If it's not a fair question, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Cameron. Cameron said he wanted her to be Coretta flat butt. And she was laying flat on that floor and then, you know what I'm saying, messed around and got him in trouble.
The interview, she has a verbal interview with a white woman, and she says that she is not black, she is Indian.
Lord have mercy.
Now here's my question. What is CNN's and why is CNN now again, right? We're simply asking these questions because we would like to get to the bottom of this, right? Because we deserve a fair explanation. Why is CNN so invested in this? Why is CNN took time to go and get Charlemagne give an explanation. Why is CNN so invested in this? It's just, isn't it weird? And then when we're talking about it, people will say, you guys are racial policing. Again, I'm not making any claims that anybody's black or not. I'm not making any claims that anybody's black enough or not black enough. I'm asking people to make sense of what's being said. It doesn't make any sense to me. We're examining the statement. And the statement doesn't make any sense.
So what do you do about that?
What do I do? Is I tell everybody not to be distracted. And I would say the same thing to the vice president. All the vice president has to do is stay on message. All these conversations about what's black, who's black, forget all that. You know, how you gonna put money in people's pockets? How you gonna keep people?
But she's the one that said it, though. She's the one that said that, though. Her and her party are the one doing that. No one else did. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Her and her party was the one that did that and put all that out as far as the black stuff. And we're asking, okay, let's see. Who you buying the greens for? Who you cooking the greens for? Who taught you how to cook the greens? Who in your immediate vicinity do you cook? Who do you cook them for? That's all. Because she's the one that said it. We didn't say it. She's the one that said it. Shout out to AW1. AW1 said, yo, Rob, when she was chasing Jonathan Majors down the street, she was more like Jason. Yeah, facts. Shout out to my man Carlton Wade. They was running down the street like Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. Like Mel Gibson and Danny Glover. You know what I'm saying? Lethal Weapon. Shout out to So Is Muscle Pain for being a like enforcer. Make sure that y'all throw some like enforcers in the chat for So Is Muscle Pain.
Safe. That's what both candidates need to be talking about over the next 95 days. We all know Kamala Harris is black, and we all know she's Indian. And we also know Donald Trump is a bigot.
No, we do know for a fact. We do know for a fact that she's Indian. But again, no one request. Let me ask you this. How many people requested for Kamala Harris to be black? Did anybody like, yo, you got to be black? The only person that requested Kamala Harris to be black is the white guy, Joe Biden, right? Like, that's fair, right? The only person that requested Kamala Harris be black is the white guy, Joe Biden. We didn't. So the fact that she's the one that keeps her and all the people around her, they're the ones that keeps doing this. We've dealt with how many white, politicians? We didn't never expect or ask any of those white politicians, well, sell us on your blackness. Who's ever done that before? No one's ever done that. That's them that put that message out. Shout out to Kamala. Or I said shout out to Kamala. Shout out to Carla. What's good with it, Carla? Oh, Lord. Don't unsubscribe, Carla. My bad. I said Kamala. Let me drink another little sip of my coffee real quick so I don't make that mistake again. You know what I'm saying? All the people that come in the comment section, oh, you're talking about race and da-da-da. We never brought any content that we've ever talked about, any other politician. Nobody's ever had an expectation on you're black, you're not black enough, yada, yada, yada. No one's ever done that. At least here, we didn't do that. I don't have no black requirement for Kamala Harris. The only black requirement that I have of Kamala Harris is at least if you said something, make sure that what you said is true. That's it. That's it. You the one that said it. Your people the one that said it. Okay, prove it. That's it. Now, we talked about Trump yesterday. Trump is a liar. Trump is a tether, and nobody's calling him a liar or a tether. He's a tether, and he lied. Trump lied and said that he was Swedish, and he's actually German. He wrote that in his book called The Art of the Deal, but nobody calls him a bad hairpiece tether for some reason. I want y'all to say it with me. Trump is a bad hairpiece having tether. Trump is a wig wearing tether. Everybody say it with me. You know what I'm saying?
And we know he's divisive. I don't need the media running Donald Trump's greatest hits over and over for the next 95 days. Donald Trump, as of right now, has no real strategy against the vice president. So they're going to say she's a DEI hire.
Now, again, the whole DEI hire, Joe Biden set her up for that. Jim Clyburn set her up for that. They the ones that set her up for that. You know what I'm saying? We talked about that in the other video. Yeah. Shout out to Code Force. Code Force says Brandon Johnson is giving the migrants, leaving out black people. We getting replaced. Yo, if you haven't checked out the Undocumented Bros, check out the Undocumented Bros videos. Yeah, Trump has a muskrat on his head. He got a dead Labrador receiver on his head and just flips it to the side every now and then. You know what I'm saying? He said it was they all say that it's not a wig. Trump ain't no different than anybody else. They all say it ain't a wig. You know what I'm saying? In facts, absolutely. If y'all agree with Brooklyn Queen, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Sleepy Joe was DEI for Obama. Facts. If y'all agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Now, where's them that black that usually be around Charlemagne's eyes at? Where'd it go? It's not, they must have got the lighting together because I don't see it.
Going to attempt to weaponize her not having kids. They're going to question her blackness. Ignore it all. Aaron, listen.
But Charlemagne, I understand, but you're talking about the media, and I'm not.
The only reason her black. Let me ask y'all this right now: people that are racist are going to be racist. A racist is not going to question, quote unquote, your blackness because they're racist against you because you're unquestionably black. Would you guys agree? So the reason, if you ask me, why Kamala Harris's race is getting harped on is because she's the one that put the focus on it. Her and her people, Biden, the Democrats, Charlemagne, the Democrat machine, they're all the people that are presenting her as this constructed image. We didn't ask for that. We didn't ask for that. If Kamala Harris wasn't racing, or if she wasn't in the race and there was all white candidates, or if there was a white candidate and whoever the best candidate was that might have had the best interest in mind for what they planned on doing and we could get the most out of, that would be the person that people would vote for, or people would opt not to vote. Would you guys agree? I mean, how many elections have we been through where that's been the scenario? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. And shout out to everybody that's watching. I really appreciate y'all being here. If y'all haven't hit that like button yet, take a moment, hit that like button. Also, if you guys haven't shared the stream to your social media, take a moment, share the stream to your social media. And also, please join the Discord by hitting that link that's pinned in the chat.
Taking it personally, but I do think it's important in part because of that.
Shout out to Harrison. What's good with you, bro?
Yeah, no, I understand. But, you know, that caller calls in and, you know, whether it should or shouldn't, sometimes it just is. If it gets into the ether and it starts affecting how people think and feel, then that becomes an actual problem.
Now, here go the thing, right? We got to hit them with the all lives matter. We got to hit them with the all lives matter. It's so many times when the all lives matter get weaponized against us. It's time for us to weaponize the all lives matter. If race doesn't matter, then why are we talking about this? If race doesn't matter, then why is Kamala Harris trying to be so pro-black and prove to everybody that she's black? If race doesn't matter. What did they say? What anytime we ask for something, what do they say? Oh, you know, we just follow in the footsteps of the great Martin Luther King, and it's about the content of our character. Maybe Kamala Harris is trying to run on what little sliver of race that she has, because maybe her character don't have a lot of content to it. Maybe her character don't have a lot of content to it. You know what I'm saying? So, why are you so concerned on proving to us that you're black when, like you said, Kamala Harris, out of your own words, or your own mouth, we're in a post-racial America? Why you keep trying to convince us you're black? It shouldn't matter what Trump said, because you know, and I know, we're in a post-racial America. Why do I know that? Because I listened to you and believe everything you said, and you said it. So why are you trying to convince me that you're black in the post-racial America that you agreed with Tim Scott about? Isn't that a great question? If you guys think that that's a great question, throw some flames in the chat. If you guys think that that's a bad question, well, then give me an angry face and give me a better question to ask. I don't know if I'll be able to get it up to her, but I'll at least say it into my microphone so you feel good.
You know, how do you deal with that? You get calls like that. You actually have an opportunity to interact with someone, to try to explain. Do you feel like people hear you?
Yes, I have no problem telling that young man he's bugging. Well, or you could say he's half right, right? Because yes, the vice president has said she's Indian, but she also says she's black because she's both. And that's why we need to ignore it all. The media should focus on whatever candidate is talking about the issues. Anything else is not worth the airtime. How many times is Donald Trump going to run the same trick over and over and over, and we continue to fall for it and be distracted? Focus on the issues. Focus on the candidate who has an actual plan for America.
I mean, they have been focusing on the plan. They've been focusing on Trump's plan because Trump has Agenda 47, and they've been trying to associate Project 2025 with Trump. Project 2025, despite the fact that it didn't come from Trump's office, is a plan that they've been associating with Trump, and it's been getting hella coverage. Kamala Harris doesn't have a plan except for the plan to sell you on her blackness. That's why they haven't been covering her plan. Let me ask you guys this question. What I just said, is that a true statement or is that a false statement? Is what I just said a true statement or a false statement?
All right, so let me ask you, J.D. Vance is commenting on her. He's been trying to comment, to defend Trump's comments about her. And here's what he said to our Steve Contorno. I'm going to highlight one word here, but let me just play it.
Look, all he said is that Kamala Harris is a chameleon. She goes to Georgia 2 days ago. She was raised in Canada. She puts on a fake Southern accent. She is everything to...
Now, again, that's another problem. She did put on a fake Southern accent. Putting on the fake Southern accent, it does, when you already have you've already established a pattern of your faking. So you fake who you are. Now you fake how you talk. When we gonna see the real you? The pattern is the issue. Shout out to AB Promotions. AB Promotions said, you think Charlatan has been getting extra butter on his biscuits? Absolutely. Not even, I can't believe you, it's not butter. He's been getting a whole tub of Lando Lakes. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Michael. Michael said her plan is twerking and insulin for Lizzo. Oh, Lizzo gonna need an insulin pen that's the size of a missile. That's gonna cost DARPA some money. And I gotta agree. We've seen the video. I'm gonna link all of the Charlemagne videos into the cards on the live stream. So as you guys are watching the replay, you'll be able to see some of the past videos on Charlemagne. But as you guys know, Charlemagne is always in contact with the White House. His words. I mean, literally his assistant said that. You know what I'm saying? So let's see what else J.D. Vance said.
Everybody, and she pretends to be somebody different depending on which audience she's in front of.
Now, yeah, I wouldn't disagree with that. And that is the problem. That's the problem. We need somebody that's consistent. At the very least, consistency is important. Let me ask you guys this question. How much do you value consistency? Who in here values consistency? Are you getting consistency with Kamala Harris? Is the question.
Look, all he said is that Kamala Harris is a chameleon. She goes to Georgia 2 days ago. She was raised in Canada. She puts on a fake Southern accent. She is everything to everybody, and she pretends to be somebody different depending on which audience she's in front of. I think it's totally reasonable for the president to call that out, and that's all he did.
So he calls her a chameleon, and it's the exact same word, actually, Charlemagne, that his former friend, longtime friend, used to describe J.D. Vance to me. Here's what she said.
What I've seen is a chameleon, someone who is able to change their positions and their values depending on what will amass them political power and wealth. And I think that's
what's interesting about this individual here is saying this about J.D. Vance, and I've heard this as well. We're going to eventually be talking about some of the things that this individual said about J.D. Vance. If I'm not mistaken, this is a legitimate individual that was a classmate of J.D. Vance's at Yale, right? But if I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't Tim Scott's not Tim Scott, Byron Donald. Didn't Byron Donald's ex-wife say the same thing about him? Y'all crazy. Y'all crazy. Hey, AV, win, lose, or rug beat you to it. You know, AB was reaching for his phone. He typing it right now. He like, man, win, lose, or rug beat me to it.
It's really unfortunate because it reflects a lack of integrity.
I'll just note, Charlemagne, that he used the word chameleon after his friend used it. I don't know whether that, whether he saw that. It's very possible he did. But you write about this, that words matter. You talk about get honest or die lying. That's your new book. And it's about honesty in politics, right? So when people are using words like chameleon, that may be a word, but it gets at something that's quite deep, right? What is truth? And when is a person actually being genuine?
All right, so yeah, I don't think we need to read anymore or read anymore. We're gonna listen to this real quick. How many people remember the interview that Kamala Harris's father gave Fox News? If you guys remember the interview that Kamala Harris's father gave Fox News, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't, then give me a thumbs down. Huh, you called him Kyle Kulinski. That's wild.
There's a family feud on the Democrat side.
Oh, gosh. Do you remember when Kamala Harris, she had that radio interview with Breakfast Club? It was released. We talked about it. She admitted that she smoked pot. When they asked her if she was pro-legalizing marijuana, she said, of course I smoked marijuana. Half my family's from Jamaica. Are you kidding me? Well, her own father had a problem with that. But listen to what she said on the Breakfast Club.
They say you oppose legalizing weed.
That's not true.
I know.
and look, I joke about it, half joking. Half my family's from Jamaica. Are you kidding me?
You ever smoked?
So again, who's the collard greens for? Who's the collard greens for? Shout out to Negro League. What's good with you, bro? Who the collard greens for?
I have.
Okay.
And I inhale. I did inhale.
It's really hysterical for the former attorney general of that state to talk about doing something illegal, laughing about it, giggling about it, and trying to get some traction for it. Among the people that were upset by it, her dad, Donald Harris from Jamaica. And
yeah, I gotta agree. Shout out to Ricky. Ricky says voters don't care about her identity politics. They're looking for someone that's going to move the country forward. She's going to get a rude awakening if she thinks identity politics is going to help her. If you ask me, I think the identity politics might actually hurt her. I think it might actually hurt. This is one of the reasons why they're coming out so strong against these things that Trump said. And I think the reason why is because it's kind of hurting her. It's not only is it hurting her, I think that it's bringing a lot of negative attention on the hypocrisy of the Democrat Party. You know what I'm saying? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Economics professor at Stanford University says this: my dear departed grandmothers, as well as my deceased parents, must be turning in their grave right now to see their family's name, reputation, and proud Jamaican identity being connected in any way, jokingly or not, with the fraudulent stereotype of pot-smoking, joy-seeking, and a pursuit of identity politics. Man, what a blast at his daughter who wants to be the next president.
No kidding. He added, and he had sent this statement to Jamaica Global Online. He said, speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, we wish to categorically disassociate ourselves from this travesty.
So her father's side of the family wants to disassociate from Kamala Harris. It takes a lot for a father to want to like disassociate from the family. That's not good. You know what I'm saying? That's not good at all.
A statement to Jamaica Global Online. He said, speaking for myself and my immediate Jamaican family, we wish to categorically disassociate ourselves from this travesty. The campaign had no comment as of yesterday. It should be pointed out that Kamala Harris's parents divorced when she was younger, and her mother raised her and her sister.
But her father still had a big part of her life, according to reports.
So the mother raised her and her sister. So again, I keep asking we got the collard green conundrum. We got this collard green conundrum. Who are the collard greens being prepared for?
Today she'll be with Al Sharpton in New York City, trying to do her best to get the African-American vote. They'll be at Harlem at Sylvia's. So we'll see if she's going to comment on that, going in or out of that restaurant.
People are going to ask her, hey, what's the deal with your dad? So stay tuned for that.
Yeah, and so now this is coming back to Horner, right? Nobody's really said anything about her dad or gotten hold of her dad, right? But now there was an article on New Jersey Spotlight News, and it talks about how the New Jersey Asian community is embracing Kamala Harris, which is interesting. Now, here goes my question. Has the Harris campaign done a campaign event for Asian people similar to the one with Meg Thee Stallion and Quavo? Have we seen that happen yet?
Vice President Kamala Harris took a big step forward this morning with the endorsement of the former president and First Lady Barack and Michelle Obama. Obama had previously held off his endorsement, indicating he wanted a more open nomination process. But as all the other Democratic dominoes of endorsement fell into place, from House and Senate leadership to the Clintons and others, the Obamas have now put their full support behind the vice president. Now, Harris stands to be the first woman of color at the top of the ticket and the first woman of South Asian descent.
The first woman of color and the South Asian descent. Now, people come, why are you talking about race? Yada, yada, yada. Who talked about race, y'all? Is it Kamala Harris and her party advertising herself running with her race? Or is it us? We're simply asking the questions.
Ticket and the first woman of South Asian descent. Usha Vance, wife of Republican Vice Presidential.
Now, we've talked about this before. I want to make sure that we talk about it again. One of the problems with the DEI is that you get the DEI to first black do nothing pipeline. How many people throughout their life have experienced the DEI to first black do nothing pipeline? Examples of this would be the Congressional Black Caucus, people like that, Ketanji Brown Jackson, these useless people where people can sit there and say, well, this was the first black, but then they turn around and do nothing. They turn around and do nothing. And they're bipartisan. You know what I'm saying? They come on both sides of the aisle, right?
Ticket and the first woman of South Asian descent. Usha Vance, wife of Republican Vice Presidential nominee J.D. Vance, is also of South Asian descent. So,
notice did they mention black in this? Did they mention, now again, she the one that's doing this, she the one that's selling herself as this. Did this news report here mention black at all? They mentioned black on Fox. You know what I'm saying? They didn't mention black here. Right, exactly. Shout out to Cameron Jones. Tulsi Gabbard considers herself a woman of color, right? But she's not black. And I don't think Tulsi Gabbard is making a case trying to go around and convince people that she's black. I don't think she would do that. I don't think she's very fond of black people. Shout out to AB. AB said, Rob, it ain't going with the Asian community. They're in deep in New Jersey. Pun intended. Yeah, and that's facts. If you guys agree with Code Force, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Code Force says Jamaica doesn't mean black. There are Indian, Chinese, white, and indigenous tribes that are Jamaican. Do you guys remember when everybody was outraged about that Chinese woman that did the TikTok video being Jamaican? Isn't it funny how when she first came out with that video, everybody was outraged about it? Now people are referencing that video to discredit Kamala Harris. But at first, when she said it, everybody was outraged about it. Do you guys remember that? That's more of the gears turning, more of the gears of the rolling hypocrisy and moving standards and goalposts that we see. You know what I'm saying?
The candidacy of Vice President Kamala Harris took a big step forward this morning with the endorsement of the former president and First Lady Barack and Michelle Obama. Obama had previously held off his endorsement, indicating he wanted a more open nomination process. But as all the other Democratic dominoes of endorsement fell into place, from House and Senate leadership to the Clintons and others, the Obamas have now put their full support behind the vice president. Now, Harris stands to be the first woman of color at the top of the ticket and the first woman of South Asian descent.
No mention of black, but she's proud. the first woman of color, the first South Asian woman. Now, we heard her on the Breakfast Club. She was black, y'all. She was black, y'all. She was blackity black. She was black, y'all. But now the news report didn't say anything about it. Mind you, these are her words, not ours.
Usha Vance, wife of Republican vice presidential nominee J.D. Vance, is also of South Asian descent. So, how is New Jersey's South Asian community reacting to their representation in this election? Senior correspondent Brenda Flanagan takes a look.
Very interesting perspective. How many people saw this video? How many people saw this video? If you've seen this video before, give me a thumbs up. If you guys haven't seen this video before, then give me a thumbs down. And also, speaking of thumbs up, if you haven't smashed the like button on the video yet, please take a moment, smash that like button. It's extremely important. We got 55 people watching it. We got 49 likes. It would be great if we had 100. Please hit that like button. Also, if you guys are not subscribed to the channel and you enjoy the content, take a moment, subscribe to the channel, hit that bell icon twice, and please share the stream to your social media.
The Kamala Harris campaign galvanized communities of color across the nation. As a first-generation daughter of immigrants from Jamaica and India, Harris celebrates her heritage, and it resonates deeply for many New Jersey residents with South Asian roots who feel...
Now, notice they're not making no mention of anything black. I'm just saying, they're not making no mention of anything black.
She's one of their own, like activist Kani Ilangavan.
Her mother and my parents are from the same part of India, Tamil Nadu. And I know our ancestors would be so proud of her.
And oh, trust me, them ancestors, we're going to look at the ancestors. We're going to look at the ancestors. They are absolutely very proud of her. Now, she definitely could fly as a mixed chick. You know what I'm saying? So again, this is how, you know what I'm saying, like, you know, people can fake the funk. Because she could definitely fly as a mixed chick. You know what I'm saying?
And her leadership. And I definitely am so proud of her.
Her grandmother and my grandmother have the same name, and her family is from the same area of India that my family is from. It's pretty emotional. And
now, is she from any of the place? Shout out. Let's do roll call. Roll call. Shout out to my man, the 6'4". Make sure y'all show the 6'4" some love. He the 4th stream sponsor. Definitely appreciate you, bro. Make sure y'all throw some flames, some radiation emojis, some ducks in the chat for the 6'4" for funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Shout out to the 6'4". The 6'4" says, as of today, Harris still has no agenda on her official page, just options for donations. And they so all she got is a super chat. All she got is super chat availability. DNC grifting. Facts. Shout out to the 6'4". I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to OG Yoshimori. We don't even got to ask. We already know what OG Yoshimori want. What do OG Yoshimori want, y'all? Shout out to you, bro. I got you. Here we go.
Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form to Mumra, the ever-living.
Had to get my man Yoshimori right. Shout out to KG. What's good with it? Had to get my man Yoshimori right. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to AB Promotions. Make sure y'all show AB some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emojis, some ducks in the chat for AB.
Silence! Silence! I ain't got no money, pa.
Get the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
I'm rich, biatch!
AB said, why weren't we invited to the Asian cookout? Facts. How many people want to get some roaches on a stick? If y'all want to get some fried roaches on a stick, give me a thumbs up. If y'all don't want to get no fried roaches on a stick, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Rick. Make sure y'all show Rick some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Rick for funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, yo.
Rick said the honeymoon for Kamala will be soon. She'll have to answer for wanting to be ban red meat and calling ICE the KKK. Yeah, facts. Absolutely. And again, right, we got to say with the cultural disconnect there, we got to question when she says goofy stuff. When she says goofy stuff like ICE is like the KKK. That's something goofy. When is ICE going into migrant shelters burning crosses? When are they doing that? When are they doing anything? Like, there's no... Look, ICE is law enforcement. You know what I'm saying? The KKK is a domestic terrorist group, which we know that law enforcement does do domestic terrorism, but I rarely hear anything about ICE treating the migrants worse than the local police treat black people. So we gotta like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what kind of comparison it is, but it's definitely not an accurate one. Yeah, so you ain't never had no fried roaches on a stick, Tetra? Shout out to Mama Zeke. What's good with it, Mama Zeke? Win Loser Rug said roaches on a stick is wild, bro. Yeah, we trying to hit that wet market. Get some type of new disease. You know what I'm saying?
And pretty amazing.
State Senator Vin Gopal says South Asians comprise one of Jersey's fastest growing minorities, close to 5% of New Jersey residents, more than any other state.
Now, what people need to really pay close attention to is South Asians becoming a fast growing majority or a fast growing minority in global politics as well. Fast growing minority in global politics as well.
About 430,000 of them are from India, clustered mostly in Middlesex County towns like Edison and Plainsboro, but gaining economic.
Now, wait a minute. We got to get in there. We got to get in there. Now, see, this is the angle that they should be talking about. This is the angle that they should be talking about because we quote unquote talking about tangibles, right? Okay, let's talk about these tangibles that some of these South Asian people have. What kind of tangibles do y'all think that these kind of South Asian people will petition Kamala Harris for? Do you think that they might be more likely to get access to resources than we are? That's the question that we got to ask. We should be able to ask that question directly to Kamala Harris and see what she says. Let me ask y'all this. Does this community support reparations for Black Americans? Shout out to Patrick. Make sure y'all show Patrick some love. He's an 8th stream sponsor. Definitely appreciate it, bro.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Definitely appreciate you, bro. Patrick says they not saying black because they talk about policy. Yeah, facts. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Make sure y'all show Brooklyn Queen some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Brooklyn Queen. Look, I don't even know which drop I'm about to use for funding the organization and standing on business. Let's do it like that.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business. I'm standing on business.
Brooklyn Queen says, I need to hear Boom Shakalaka by Apache Indian and see some Bollywood dances at the next rally. Hey, yeah, fair game, right? Because they sure did that with us. How many people, if y'all agree with Brooklyn Queen, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree with Brooklyn Queen, give me a thumbs down. I agree. Absolutely. Fair game.
More than any other state. About 430,000 of them are from India, clustered mostly in Middlesex County towns like Edison and Plainsboro, but gaining economic and political influence statewide.
They gain an economic and political influence statewide. Now they got so much political and economic influence statewide that in this segment, they didn't mention anything about her being black at all. Nothing about her being black. Shout out to LPVGs. LPVGs says, we all know they racist AF and raised on classism and colorism. India is janky AF. If y'all agree with LP, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Of New Jersey residents, more than any other state. About 430,000 of them are from India, clustered mostly in Middlesex County towns like Edison and Plainsboro, but gaining economic and political influence statewide.
We're seeing more judges, more police officers, college presidents. It's really an incredible area of assimilation at this moment. That's why I think that as generations go, we're going to see more and more.
I think it would be a very much needed positive change. It's a time when probably we need a women power.
I'm going to vote for her. She's a good person.
That support translates into campaign funds.
Now what's up with this? They haven't mentioned none of these people the entire video, and here they come. Now y'all see who in the video. They got the photo op. They didn't mention these people one time in the video. Now they got them in here, though. Now, let me ask y'all this question. What is the purpose of this scenery change right here? What's the purpose of this scenery change right here?
For Harris, a recent national Zoom fundraiser for Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander women raised $250,000.
Did anybody hear about this? I didn't know that they had even done this. I didn't know that they did that. I knew about the Chads for Harris. I knew about the what was they called? the Chads for Harris, the Becks for Harris. You know what I'm saying? The Keishas for Harris. I heard about all of that, but I didn't hear about the Ling Ling for Harris. I guess they had a Ling Ling call. You know what I'm saying? They look, you want to see them do it in real time? You want to see him do it in real time? Let me finish this video up. Shout out to Alonda. What's good with it, Alonda? You want to see him do it in real time? We about to watch him do it in real time. Hold on.
A recent national Zoom fundraiser for Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander women raised $250,000. Similar events rained even more cash. Electing Kamala Harris to the Oval Office would shatter several glass ceilings, and Hoboken's mayor hopes she could also help heal some of the racial anger plaguing America and New Jersey.
I think we can come together on issues of common concern. Racial injustice, especially after the pandemic, when you see anti-Asian hate.
Yo, there's this crazy song. Do y'all remember that song that I had put? I got to shout out Mike TV because I had seen this when I was watching one of Mike TV's replays. Hold on real quick. Hold on, man. Y'all got to see it. I got to give credit to Mike TV because I seen this on his live stream. Hold on real quick. Let me see something. Yeah, this crazy. Listen to this, man. Speaking of, now, AB Promotions just put a song in there. I don't know if this got any type of copyright on it or not. So I'm about to try to run through this real quick. But yo, this is crazy, man. This is crazy. This is crazy. Hold on real quick, man. Look at this. Look. You see the name of the song? Look, you see the name of the song? Look at this. Now you see this dude here, right? Look, listen to the words. Hold on. Now hold on real quick. We about to go over here because I ain't trying to get the copyright. You hear that? Do you hear that? Man, these people out of control, man. These people are out of control. Out of control, man. OOC. Shout out to John. Right. Now hold on. We about to. My man got his turban on right here. Yeah, ain't that crazy? Oh, y'all got to look at the comment section. Y'all got to look at the comment section on that video.
Is something that any Asian American, Republican, Democrat, or Independent can relate to as something that impacts their families.
India is a vital economic and diplomatic partner.
Now, look at this here. We got to keep it a buck. The face does not match the voice. Yeah, he definitely do got that malnutrition body type. Facts. Shout out to Carla. They not like us. Facts. What set is he repping? Punjabi. The Punjabi Pyrus. You know what I'm saying?
As something that impacts their families.
India is a vital economic and diplomatic partner, the world's largest democracy. But Jersey's South Asian voting bloc is by no means monolithic. Yeah. And conservative Priti Pandya Patel, a former Nikki Haley supporter.
Of course she was a Nikki Haley supporter. Now, why was she a Nikki Haley supporter? Now, how do you go from being a Nikki Haley supporter to a Kamala Harris supporter? Now, mind you, they sit there and tell you it's not about race, right? It's not about race. If it's not about race, how do you go from being a Kamala Harris supporter to a Nikki Haley supporter? Because what? They're so ideologically parallel. And I got to agree with Patrick. Patrick says, whose fault is this? Ours once again. If y'all agree with Patrick, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Who's also of South Asian descent, thinks Harris can't handle international affairs.
I just don't think that she's qualified because she doesn't have the global background. I'm
not trying to be funny, and I'm not even really, but I'm not like, you know what I'm saying? This is just this lady right here, Priti Patel. She says that Nikki Haley's not qualified for global politics. Nikki Haley was the UN ambassador. I think that's pretty global. I don't really know a lot of women or women of South Asian descent that have more international experience than Nikki Haley. I'm not a Nikki Haley fan, but this is just based on experience. Nikki Haley has international experience. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. I don't know why she would have said that. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever to me, but it is what it is.
Can't handle international affairs.
I just don't think that she's qualified because she doesn't have the global background. I just don't feel like that she's a qualified candidate to be president of this United States, especially with everything going on in the world.
She prefers the Republican slate, noting J.D. Vance's wife's also Indian American. Donald Trump visited India in 2020 and hosted its controversial prime minister. He's already attacking Harris and mispronouncing her name.
Lion Kamala Harris has been the ultra-liberal driving force behind every single Biden catastrophe.
I love her, and her name is not Kamala or Kamala. It's Kamala Harris, and she is fabulous.
Kamala, it's Kamala Harris. Is it like, is it Kamala Harris or is it Mumra Harris?
Ancient spirits of evil, transform this decayed form to Mumra, the ever living.
Hey, them gong beats sound like a Wu-Tang Clan intermission, don't they?
Fabulous, fantastic prosecutor who's going to fight a felon.
Her supporters posted this. Kamala means lotus in Sanskrit.
Crushed. Crushed. LPVG's crushed Kamala Harris. You know what I'm saying? Oh, man.
Sanskrit, and in America, POTUS for President of the United States, imbued with deep relevance for Jersey's Asian Americans. I'm Brenda Flanagan, NJ Spotlight News.
All right, so they didn't mention black one time in the entire thing, right? Now, again, we never asked her to mention black, but she's the one that wants to present herself as that. So now I want y'all to pay attention here because this is what she said when she was in India. Yeah, and shout out to AB Promotions. Yeah, that's exactly what she said. She said, she said, Kamla. All right, now let's listen to what she says. When it comes to being black, you know, she never mentions any locations that are important or anything like that to her life. You guys notice that? Shout out to Patrick Tyler. Patrick Tyler said, Black America is the king of taking L's. If you guys agree with Patrick, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Important part of my life.
So my question, here go my question. How many receipts do we need? How many receipts do we need to prove the point? How many receipts do we need to prove the point? They keep saying that this is mis and disinformation, but at the same time, no, nobody will explain or, you know, evaluate any of this stuff.
To really understand the love of good idli.
Now, Kamala Harris remembers her grandfather. Now, we got to add, what is her black grandparents' names? Let me ask y'all this. Shout out to all the people that's in the comment section. Is there anybody in the comment section that knows Kamala Harris's black grandparents' names? If you know Kamala Harris's black grandparents' names, type it in the chat. If you don't know their names, then put a thumbs down or an angry face in the chat.
My grandfather was one of the most favorite people in my life. And I was the eldest grandchild. And so, as I'm sure many of you know, culturally, to be the eldest has a certain significance. And so I took full advantage of that status.
Now, what status did she take full advantage of being black, besides what she's advertising herself as in this election? See, she says culturally being the eldest has a certain significance, and I took full advantage of that status. What does that mean?
So I took full advantage of that status. I would hold my grandfather's hand on these walks and listen intently to him and his friends. I did clearly understand and do recall stories about the freedom fighters and the nation's founding heroes, and about the independence of India. I do believe it is these lessons that I learned at a very young age that first inspired my interest in public service.
So there you have it right there. This is the second time that we've heard her saying that. Yeah, John and Jane Doe, facts. This is the second time that we've heard her say that. We haven't heard her say that being black or blackness or, you know what I'm saying, I'm bliggity, bliggity black, y'all, I'm black, y'all. We haven't heard any of that be an influence on her career choice. But as we heard right here, again, for a second time, she said how this particular part of her heritage influenced her to go into politics.
India. I do believe it is these lessons that I learned at a very young age that first inspired my interest in public service. It is a large part of who I am today. These lessons I learned from my grandfather, P.V. Gopal, and from the dedication, determination, and courage of his daughter, my mother, Shamla. And it is that being the reason that I stand before you today as Vice President of the United States. I look back now and I do fully realize how much these conversations influenced me and my thinking.
Now, where does she say this about her blackness? Let me ask you guys this question. Is there any interview or is there any speech or any statement by Kamala Harris circulating around out there where she talks about how her blackness contributed to her career choices, her greatness, and her advancement? Has anybody seen anything like this where the way that she's talking about the Asian part of her family, that she's talking about the black part of her family? Has anybody seen that?
And how they have guided me ever since. When my sister Maya and I were growing up, our mother would take us from the Bay Area to India pretty much every other year.
So she went from the Bay Area to India every other year. Okay. So she went back, like she went to India every year. So she was very in touch, right?
And the purpose of those trips were many, including that we would well understand where she came from, what produced her, so that we could spend time with our grandparents, with my uncle and our chitties.
Now, here goes another question. How did she become Baptist? Because they have her religion listed as Baptist. When did she become Baptist? Who in her household is Baptist? How did she become Baptist? She claims to be Baptist.
And to really understand the love of good idli. On those visits, I was the only member of our family that my grandfather allowed to join him for his morning routine. You see, by the time that we were going there as children, my grandfather was retired from his career as a civil servant. And his morning routine, every morning, consisted of taking long walks on the beach with his retired buddies. And they, as retired civil servants, would debate the issues of the day. So I would hold my grandfather's hand on these walks and listen intently to him and his friends. And I will tell you, as a young girl, I don't think I fully appreciated the essence and the import of the debates that they would have. I did clearly understand and do recall stories about the freedom fighters and the nation's founding heroes and about the independence of India. I remember them talking about the importance of fighting corruption and fighting for equality, regardless of one's belief or caste.
So she got one of these speeches. She got a template. You know what I'm saying? She got a template when she talking about Martin Luther King and all them. And then she got a template for when she talking about this. Shout out to Win, Lose, or Rug. I definitely appreciate it, bro. You are the 10th stream sponsor. Make sure y'all throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for my man Win, Lose, or Rug. Funded.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the march of dimes.
This is the hardest record out.
Get the money, y'all. There's poor people around.
I'm rich, biatch.
Definitely appreciate it, bro. Win, Lose, or Rug said this must mean she speaks another language. If she goes to that country every other year, or if she went to that country every other year, I would say she's got to at least be fluent slightly. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to DJ Elmo. DJ Elmo says, look how respectful she talks to her Indian half, but talks condescending to FBA using twerking and symbolism. Yeah, If you guys agree with DJ Elmo, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Mama Zeke. Mama Zeke says, this is all weird. I'm Jamaican, and if her father was any influence on her, she'd be talking about that culture the same way. She's full of ish. Facts. Now, one thing that's interesting about the Jamaican part is that the Jamaican part is the part that she's supposed to be sliding into being black with, right? She really don't even talk about the Jamaican part at all. And when she did talk about the Jamaican part, it was so outlandish, the way that she talked about it, that her father was outraged and came out with a statement to publicly shame and distance the family from her. I mean, that's kind of crazy.
Throughout these walks, I recall my grandfather teaching me lessons about not just what it means to have a democracy, but to keep a democracy. And I do believe it is these lessons that I learned at a very young age that first inspired my interest in public service. And I look back now and I do fully realize how much these conversations influenced me and my thinking, and how they have guided me ever since.
They guided her ever since.
In fact, it is a large part of who I am today. These lessons I learned from my grandfather, Vigo Palmer, and from the dedication, determination, and courage of his daughter, my mother, Shamla. And it is that being the reason that I stand before you today as Vice President of the United States.
There you go. Now, is that misinformation? Is that misinformation? Is that disinformation? Shout out to Deneen Soul. Is that mis or disinformation? Now, check this out. How many people knew? And don't worry, we're going to get this. This is going to end up as, again, being a long stream. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to get to the Elon Musk part. Maybe I need to do this. I should use a thumbnail and say that I'm about to talk about something else. And then boom, when you get in here, I'm talking about something different. Kamala Harris and JD Vance's wife are from the same hood. Their ancestral villages are 600 kilometers apart in India. And guess what? Over there in India, they talking about it.
Two women with a connect to India have taken center stage in US politics. And now in the
But they want to try to sit up there, and Charlemagne the God sit up there on the Breakfast Club, and then he go on to CNN and sit there and tell you that these people are not having these conversations and talking about these kind of things. If Charlemagne the God and all of these people are telling the truth, then my question for you guys is, what is this? What is this? What do we have right here up on the screen? What do we have right here up on this screen? Now I'm going to have to get gas station rule. What's on the screen? What's on the screen?
villages in India, there are prayers being offered from both sides for victory. Kamala Harris and Usha Vance may not know it, but there are people praying for Democratic or Republican victory in the two villages. Every day.
Listen, they got the incense out. They done dusted off the top of the ancient temples. You know what I'm saying? They got the ancient temples together. Hurry, bring me the incense and the gold vase. We have to pray for Kamala. She's running for the president today, and we don't want her to be like Joe Biden and sleep and fall down while she's running for president. They're not playing over there. They got the palm trees clipped, dusting off somebody up there, sweeping up the ceiling so they could put the altar down. They're not playing around. India Today, digital, story of Kamala and Usha, Raymond, you know what I'm saying? And two villages in India. Two villages in India. The story of two villages.
Day in a simple temple in India's Vadluru village, Hindu priest Subramanya Sharma prays to God for JD Vance to become white.
Man, listen, they got the Shaolin monk up there about to pray. I did not. I told y'all that this was serious. Yeah, I seen it. Shout out to DJ Elmo. Did y'all notice that? DJ Elmo said, "Did you notice that the dummy god was pure white like snow?" Oh, bro. Shout out to my man Bronze the God. What's good with it, bro? Think about this. Think about this. What if Kamala Harris was lying about this entire thing the whole time? You know what I'm saying? Think about that.
But there are people praying for Democratic or Republican victory in the two villages. Every day in a simple temple in India's Vadluru village, Hindu priest Subramanya Sharma prays to God for J.D. Vance to become Vice President of the United States. The priest seeks blessings for the Republican politician and his wife Usha. Vadluru, a quiet village on the banks of a canal deep in the countryside of Andhra Pradesh, is the ancestral.
Hold on, man. What was that bird that was flying on the screen?
Is the ancestral home of Vance's wife, who will become the US second lady and the first who is not white if Donald Trump is elected again.
Now, how do you get to not be white, but you are white? How does that work? Because remember, Indian people fought to be white. Shout out to Lehman Lucas. What's good with it, bro? The Indian people fought to be white, but then somehow you get to not be white and be white. Like on your naturalization paperwork, you get to be white, but then like for credit purposes and all that, you get to not be white. Like, how does that work? What you got in that bag? What you got in that case? We got the top down, oh man. Roll out. Roll out. Oh man.
This temple is in a building once owned by Usha's family, the Chilukuris. Usha's great-grandfather moved out of Vadluru, but her ancestors are respected in the village as academic high flyers and well-versed in Hindu scriptures. Her father, Chilukuri Radhakrishnan, a PhD holder, was brought up in Chennai and went on to study in the United States. He returned to India.
They done brought the last airbender out. They done brought the last airbender out, and they really wanted to see this lady win. Yeah, shout out to Cameron. Complexion based on the caste system. This is what ends up getting to be problematic. This is extremely problematic. I mean, this is some of the things that people need to talk about this stuff. We've already gone through this, right? If there's anybody in the comment section, we're not going to debate about the whole fought to be white thing and all that. This has already been proven. Simple Google search or watch a replay, right? So now, again, we got to ask that question. How do you get to be white and brown at the same time? And again, you don't get to ask us why we're talking about race, because none of us were ever so race obsessed that we tried to change our race. Yo, crazy. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said, I'm surprised that the WW Patriots aren't lashing out at this symbolism. No Hawk Tua's visual representation for the White House. Yeah, facts. Facts. Somebody make it make sense. Shout out to everybody that's watching, man. I really appreciate you guys. If you all haven't smashed the like button yet, please take a moment. Smash that like button. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the stream. We got 60 likes. If you guys haven't shared the stream, take a moment. Share the stream. Remember, don't forget when the stream is over, or if you watch it on the replay, watch it all the way through. It'll take you to the end. Hit the like button in the next stream. And also hit the bell notification in the next stream.
India before his wife and him moved back across the Pacific, and Usha was brought up in suburban San Diego. She met Vance at Yale Law School.
Now, they don't say nothing about Yale Vance with the red dot on his head. Wait a minute. Or JT Vance with the red dot on his head. Now, JT Vance was like, you know what I'm saying? Listen. Hey, whatever she did, she must have done it right, because all the kids they all got the names. He got the red dot on his head. She put it on him. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. He like, I'm all in. I'm all with it, baby. What up? You know what I'm saying? I'm all in with it. What's good with it? He got the red dot on his head. She put it on him. Now, this right here probably is one of the reasons why them people was saying the stuff that they were saying. Because what's interesting about it is that now, again, people never get held to the same standards. People never get held to the same standards. Now, we all know that the depolicing is something that is copied from WS, right? The depolicing is something that's copied from WS. But now, if you look at, we got the passport preses, JD Vance and Donald Trump are the passport presidents. And nobody's questioning them about it. The same scrutiny that anybody else will get. Well, you know, how you care about black people if you're not with a black woman? How you gonna make America great again if you're not with a Hawk Tuah, if you're not with a Marjorie Taylor Greene? Why don't they get held to the same standards that everybody else try to hold everybody else to? How you gonna make America great again and you a passport bro? Why don't anybody say that to these people? These aren't my standards, but these are the standards that'll be used against you or I. So my question is, if it's fair game, then it's fair game. All game is fair game, right? These are the passport presidents, but nobody's calling them the passport presidents. Now, here goes my question. Are these fair questions? Me personally, like you guys know, that's not my thing. But if these are things that are being done and these are standards, my question is, why haven't this been done with them? Oh, you gonna make America great again? How you gonna make America great again and you ain't even with an American woman? When they play American woman at the shindig, you know what I'm saying? JT Vance, who is, you know what I'm saying, he cares about the white working class, right? Now hit him with the Umar, but didn't make any white kids, right? Again, these aren't my talking points. This isn't my logic. Why is it that people never use black shaming on non-black people? Shout out to DC Precise. Hit the button. Y'all hit the button. Hit the button. You all good, Deneen. Don't worry about it. You good. Good to see you in here. We gotta hold them to this. We gotta hold them to the same standard. As you guys can see, clearly the black shaming could work on some white people. How come don't nobody ever do it? Like I said, Trump is a tether. These are two passport presidents. Nobody ever says anything about that, though. Those are the only things for some reason that's reserved to us talking about us. That's something that I'm curious about. I don't get. These is the passport presidents. They talking about make America great again. JT Vance, pro-white, pro-hillbilly, but the wife is white on paper, but calling herself a woman of color. Again, not my standards. These are the standards that people made. JT Vance wants to make white America great again. Your mama white, hit him with the your mama white, right? Because she is. Shout out to my man Manosphere Hall of Fame. To answer your question, black men are still deemed slaves of the field. Yeah, I would agree. And this is proof of it because nobody even thinks to hit them with the black man shaming standards. But as you can see, if you wanted to, everything would fall in line. So we got to ask the question, well, wait a minute. If we can ask these questions and all of these things would actually apply, why do people consciously reserve those to attempt to shame black men? Because I mean, all these questions I asked about JD Vance is all some people would hit you with those kind of questions for not supporting Kamala Harris. It hit you with your mama black. Okay, JT Vance's mama white. Trump mama German. They want to make America great again. They want to increase the white middle class population, but you ain't making no white kids. I mean, like these are white supremacist talking points. pro-blacks get their talking points from white supremacists, but then they don't turn around and use them on the white people that came up with them. I don't understand. It don't make any sense to me. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the TCU. We got the TCU in the building. Yo, the TCU is always taking applications. Shout out to the TCU. We appreciate you.
And the couple married in 2014. They have 3 children. But the truth is, Usha Vance has never visited the village. The priest said her father last came around 3 years ago and checked on Temple's condition. Little is known about Radhakrishnan's initial years in the United States, but the film of Vance's memoirs, Hillbilly Elegy, refers to him coming to the country with nothing.
So everybody always has this story of how they came to the country with nothing. But as we know from talking about the migrants and the migrant crisis, that's just not true. None of these people come to the country with nothing. It's not true.
Usha's character, played by Indian actor Frida Pinto, says in the 2020 movie that her father had to find his way. Usha is a practicing Hindu and told Fox News in a recent interview that the faith made her father and mother good parents and really good people. Villagers now follow the couple's campaign on YouTube and Facebook. Usha's great-grand-aunt, Chilukuri Santamma, sits hunched over a pile of papers as she called on her relative to urge others not to follow in her family's footsteps. Another of the family academics, at 96, she is hailed in the local media as the country's oldest active professor. She is related to Usha through her husband, an academic himself, who was associated with the Rashtriya Swayamsevak Sangh or the RSS. And she has some word of advice for Usha Vance.
The first is the draining of Indians into America. She should stop. They can't go on, fly to India, fly to America, and stay on continuously there. They can go for education. They can go for training. They can go for some time for seeing. And all this they can do. But there is a limitation. They can't imitate. There is a limitation for them. They have to stay there for a known time and come back.
Trump's opponent in the November election is Kamala Harris, and her ancestral village, Tulasendrapuram, is...
See, now, let me ask you guys this question. Where are you guys, everybody in the chat, where is your ancestral quote-unquote village at? Now, do y'all have the same ancestral village as Kamala Harris? And here's another question. Is the Indian news outlet, is this fake news? Are they not telling the truth? Is this mis or disinformation? Now, here goes the question. Where's the ancestral village on the other side? And why aren't you being honest about this? If you're not, here's the thing. People keep saying, well, why does it matter? Why does it matter? It matters because of a pattern of honesty. If you're not honest about who you are, what's to say about your honesty about what you plan on doing? That's a fair question to ask. How many people agree that that's a fair question to ask? If you guys agree this is a fair question to ask, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, then give me a thumbs down.
And her ancestral village, Tulasendrapuram, is also praying for victory. Around 600 kilometers away from Usha Vance's village, this village is surrounded by paddy fields deep in the southern state of Tamil Nadu. The God of truth and righteousness is on the side of the Democratic Party in this.
Now, if she was relatable to us, most of our quote-unquote ancestral villages are a state somewhere. Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama, Mississippi. We don't need a passport to go to our ancestral places. Right? But she does. But again, she's the one that made all these claims. And that's true. Shout out to Patrick. Yeah, we know they didn't promise anything, but at the same time, here go to what has everybody asked for? one way that they get away from doing anything for us is that in many cases there's not really a unification on people presenting and asking for stuff. Who's the representative? Who's going front? You know what I'm saying? And asking anybody anything. You got people like Charlemagne being backed by iHeartRadio, trying to jump in front of the conversation, acting like somehow a radio DJ is the quote unquote mayor or governor of black people. Like it's insane. You know what I'm saying?
This year's US presidential election, according to the Hindu priest in this village, a huge picture of the smiling Democrat.
A huge pit. They call her the they call her the smiling Democrat. A huge picture of the smiling Democrat. Shout out to AB. Yeah, they're very we're just downplaying this. They very invested in it, ain't they? They very invested. Shout out to Manosphere Hall of Fame. Manosphere Hall of Fame said, "I'm telling you, the U.S. has plans to strengthen ties with India." Hey, I don't doubt you, Manosphere Hall of Fame. That's an interesting theory that I didn't think of, but I think that is definitely plausible and definitely very possible and makes sense strategically. You know what I'm saying? I think that's great insight. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to David Butler. Yeah, she's a grifter. She's a con woman. Big facts. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen, Savannah, Georgia. Yeah. Anytime you go to Savannah, Georgia, do they ask you for a passport or anything like that?
Stands at the village entrance near its main temple, a sprawling structure with a towering decorated
Look at this,
gate.
man.
Community prayers began the
Now
day.
here go the thing. Like, we about to shut all this down, man. Like, we shutting this down, man. This is not AI. This is a real actual picture. Like, this is what's going on in India. Somebody painted this on the wall. This is the mural on the Hidden Harris Museum in India. You know what I'm saying? Like, anybody could have showed a video of this. Anybody could have showed a video on this. I appreciate you, Source Muscle Pain. You know what I'm saying?
Gate. Community prayers began the day after President Joe Biden withdrew from the race, paving the way for Harris to ascend to the top of the ticket, and are expected to continue daily until voting day.
Now, shout out to Manosphere Hall of Fame. We're gonna be talking about some things with BRICS and the dollar collapse. Probably like tomorrow at midnight. We'll see. Hopefully my schedule don't get too off. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're gonna definitely be talking about some stuff with global international business and market finance involving BRICS. You know what I'm saying? And petrodollar. You know what I'm saying? Because I do believe that that's a good point that you got there and that you wanted something with that. And yeah, if you guys agree with Patrick, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Patrick says this is what the black vote is used for, to give others aid. Yeah. Facts. Facts. Yeah, now that's facts. Sometimes you do need a little bit of you gotta, what'd you say? Excuse me, could you repeat that? You know, because sometimes you got to get used to it a little bit. You know what I'm saying? But you know, it's still the same language though. You got the heavy dialect, the heavy accent.
His maternal grandfather, P.V. Gopalan, left the village decades ago, but residents say the family has maintained close links and has regularly donated to the village temple's upkeep. Millions of Indians have made similar journeys as the Chilukuris or Harris's family. And according
now, I want you guys to pay very close attention. Clearly, right? Clearly, there's a big Indian influence in her life. Would you guys agree? Clearly, there's a big Indian influence in her life, right? Now, again, we got to ask that question about the presentation. Why they not doing the ass wagging on the Indian side? They're very respectful and showing this as an esteemed culture. And look at all these temples, and look at, we got the last airbender out, and let's light a candle here and light a candle there. When it comes to us, let's show the ass wagging. Let's get Quavo up there to stutter through a prescripted speech. How many people are okay with that? If Kamala Harris was really so proud of herself, why is she okay to allow us to be depicted in that way? What y'all think? If she was really as proud as she says she was, she wouldn't really be about letting us be depicted like that. Bro, it infuriates you. You gotta join. How many people want Patrick to join the Discord? Patrick would fit right in to the Discord. If y'all agree that Patrick would fit right into the Discord, throw some flames in the chat. We got to get Patrick to join the Discord. Cause it's infuriating. It's infuriating, especially when all you can do is just sit there and watch and shake your head. And it's like, that's literally, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you could talk to other people that kind of see these kind of things and feel a certain kind of way about them, but nobody really cares. Bro, I'm telling you, it's infuriating. It's infuriating.
According to the most recent US census, Indians have become the country's second largest Asian ethnicity, growing 50% to 4.
Now, how many people knew about that? Indians have become the United States' second largest Asian ethnicity. Listen, man. Everywhere where there's a lot of Indians, everywhere where there's a lot of Southeast Indians, eventually they end up becoming the leaders of the country where they're at. Look at the UK right now. If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. Yeah, shout out to Patrick. Patrick said that's literally what I've been doing, sitting here shaking my head. Yeah, as I do, bro. I shout out to Cameron. I think Chinese used to be. They must have been recently surpassed by Indians, or either Indians always were, but I thought it was Chinese at one point.
And according to the most recent US census, Indians have become the country's second largest Asian ethnicity, growing 50% to 4.8 million in the decade to 2020. Do tell us what you think about this video in the comment section, and for more news updates.
Yeah, so why don't y'all tell us what you think about this video? Tell us what you guys think about this video. Let me see something real quick. Let me just see something. Now, this is 3 years ago. All right, this is 3 years ago. What do you think Kamala Harris was saying 3 years ago? There's not very much that you can find about Kamala Harris talking about black 3 years ago. All of these videos.
Well, we got our first look at the Democratic ticket in the U.S. presidential race when Joe Biden and Kamala Harris appeared together for the first time as running mates in Delaware. During their speeches, they slammed President Trump, with Harris saying he was not, in her words, up to the job. Harris is making history as the first black woman and first person of Indian descent to join a major political party's ticket.
So here they said black woman. Here they mentioned the black woman and Indian woman on this. Okay. Here they said black woman and Indian woman.
My mother and father, they came from opposite sides of the world to arrive in America. One from India and the other from Jamaica, in search of a world-class education. But what brought them together was the civil rights movement of the 1960s.
How did the civil rights movement bring her mom to her dad? And that's another question. How was if her dad was black, how was he allowed to supersede miscongeniation laws? How was he able to just blatantly in front of people break miscongeniation laws? Anybody got any? What's the thoughts on that? Shout out to everybody that's watching. We got 49 people watching and we got 63 likes. We need to get to that 100. If everybody bang on that like button, we'd be at that 100. We'd be over 100 if everybody bangs on the like button. If you guys have already banged on it, share the stream to your social media. If you enjoying the stream, throw some flames and some thumbs up in the chat.
And that's how they met as students in the streets of Oakland, marching and shouting for this thing called justice in a struggle that continues today.
And for more, let's head to New Delhi and CNN's Vedika Sood, who...
That's actually a great point, Mofax. Shout out to Mofax. Mofax says China is being demoted on the global stage and India is being promoted. Remember, India is the I in BRICS. I think they are their sleeper as a, or I think they are there as a sleeper giant. Yeah, I agree with that. If you guys agree with Mofax, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. I think that's a great point, bro. Shout out to Carlton Wade. Carlton Wade said, I bet Kamala's mom was probably cool as a fan. I bet you if she stood in front of the fan and you got a whiff, oh, you know what I'm saying? You might get taken back. You might lean back like Fat Joe. You know what I'm saying? Everybody mad at Fat Joe, but got to quote him on the lean back on that one if you get a whiff of that breeze.
Joins us now via Skype. Good to talk with you. So you had an opportunity to talk to some of Kamala Harris's maternal family. What did they tell you about her and the influences she came into?
Rosemary, I spoke with the maternal uncle of Harris, who's 80 years old, but he's so active for his age. I must mention that. And I think that he mentioned, which is very interesting.
Right. I got to agree. Here go another one. She looked like a mixed chick, and then here she come with the, you know what I'm saying, the Slurpee. You know what I'm saying? So you just, again, this is real easy to slip in and out. You know what I'm saying? it's real easy to slip in and out. You know what I'm saying? She looked like a friend of mine. She like this friend that, you know what I'm saying, I used to be cool with named Donna, except for when she talked. Then all of a sudden her and Donna don't look the same no more. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Patrick. Patrick said, Rob, I need them receipts. I don't believe it at all. Yeah, I mean, if we ask and, you know what I'm saying, like start, you know, putting things together, how was her and her mom, how was the dad, if the dad was a black man, how was the dad and the mom allowed to date during a time of miscongeniation laws? The civil rights movement brought us together. I didn't know that the civil rights movement was bringing people of different races together like that. I thought the purpose was to segregate people. You know what I'm saying?
Interesting to me was the influence of her mother on Harris. Now imagine a 19-year-old Indian woman deciding to go overseas for her education. She traveled all alone. One fine day, she told her parents that I want to go abroad, I want to go to America, I want to go to UC Berkeley, and I want to study there. Her parents were extremely progressive. So the father, I believe, said, all right, Shamla, go ahead. I can only sponsor you for a year. After that, you're on your own. And she did live up to the expectations. She managed to complete her doctorate there, and then she joined the civil rights movement as well when she was in university. A lasting impression on Senator Harris is...
How did she join why do people just keep saying these people join the civil rights movement? How did they join? How did she join the civil rights movement? How? What did she do? Where did she join at? Where was what? Seriously, y'all. How? She joined the civil rights movement just because she worked at a college? She started messing with somebody who was another person that was saying that they black, so that was part of the civil rights movement. I mean, I don't get it. They're gonna have the narrative if they keep doing this. Soon they're going to have a narrative of that we didn't do anything in the civil rights movement and everybody else saved us from the civil rights movement. And that's one of the reasons why everybody is anti-reparation, because we didn't do anything for ourselves. Everybody else did everything for us. And if everybody did all this kind of stuff for us, then they don't owe us anything. And actually we owe them everything. That's what they're going to change the narrative to. Shout out to Deneen Grant. If you guys agree that that's what they're going to change the narrative to, give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't think that, well, then let me know what you think.
That you're on your own. And she did live up to the expectations. She managed to complete her doctorate there, and then she joined the civil rights movement as well when she was in
Shout out to
university.
Black Bitcoin
a lasting
Key.
impression on Senator.
Right. She was on the side of the civil rights movement with, what's his name? The dude from the Dallas Cowboys, Jerry Jones. She was on the Jerry Jones side of things. You know what I'm saying? How was she a part of what part of the civil rights movement did she join? Like a chapter of the NAACP? Did she work for, like, you know, a particular urban organization? Was she under the tutelage of somebody? Like, who was she working for? How? And then, you know, people like Malcolm X wasn't really on dealing with people that wasn't black all like that anyway. So if you was dealing with some people like Malcolm X, you know what I'm saying? Malcolm X would have left you standing there looking stupid. Like, go back to work. Martin Luther King was a lot more liberal. You know what I'm saying? You might have made some headway with Martin Luther King, but it was kind of a lot of people that was kind of radical like Malcolm around too. And if you wasn't really rocking with Martin Luther King, didn't have no giant coalition. So if you really wasn't rocking with Martin Luther King, I don't know anybody else who would have let anybody to the party. I don't know if the Black Panthers would have been letting people to the party all like that. I don't know if Malcolm X and all them, they definitely wouldn't have been going down like that over there. So the only person they could have possibly been working with is like somebody that was really liberal, like Martin Luther King. And a lot of these, they don't got no pictures with Martin Luther King or anything like that. So who was they working with? What part of the civil rights movement? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, this don't make no sense.
Harris is from the mother as well as the maternal grandfather, who she used to visit very often in India. Those were her roots that she keeps talking about so proudly. Here's more on that.
My mother, who raised me and my sister, was a proud woman.
There we go again. So look, all these is receipts. All these are receipts. This is why I want to make sure that I go through all of this, because we're going to have this whole entire thing up. And hopefully if people want to clip whatever, you know what I'm saying, if these videos happen to disappear, we got them over here. We got them on Rumble. If you're not subscribed to the channel on Rumble, take a moment, go over there, subscribe to Rumble. But these are the receipts. You know what I'm saying? You got all these Democrat channels that just keep popping up. YouTube is filtering them all the views. They're not sharing any views or traffic with anybody that's coming with any type of alternative media. And here's the receipts. These people will sit here and call us Russian bots all day. They'll sit here and call us Democrat. They'll sit here and call us COINTELPRO and stuff, all that all day. Never coming with any receipts. Here goes the receipts. I never make a claim without receipts. You know what I'm saying? Like,
in India, those were her roots that she keeps talking about so proudly. Here's more on that.
Her roots, those are her roots that she keep talking about proudly. Didn't mention anything about the black roots. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen is the 11th stream sponsor. Definitely appreciate it. Please make sure you guys show Brooklyn Queen some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for Brooklyn Queen funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Silence! Silence! I ain't got no money, pa.
Cash rules everything around me. Queen, get the money. Dollar bill, yo.
Brooklyn Queen says, all the points made here explains the influx of Indian heritage politicians like Vivek Ramaswamy. Whether they cosplay black or white, they'll have some pull in the homeland. Facts. If you guys agree with Brooklyn Queen, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. Shout out to Deneen Grant for choosing violence. Hit the button on Deneen, please. Somebody hit the we need the button hit in aisle 5. Somebody please hit the button in aisle 5. Deneen says she got her looks from daddy because mama ain't so damn cute. You said the mama ain't a looker, huh?
Yeah.
Oh man.
India, Those were her roots that she keeps talking about so proudly. Here's more on that.
My mother, who raised...
Hit the button. Somebody hit the button. Deneen acted like she ain't got no sense. Somebody hit the button. Deneen shows violence. Shout out to Deneen.
Me and my sister was a proud woman. She was a brown woman. She was a woman with a heavy accent.
And her mother, Shamla Gopalan, was also the biggest influence in Kamala Harris's life.
The answer is absolutely yes, Joe.
After the big announcement, Harris's sister wrote in a Twitter post, "You can't know who Kamala Harris is without knowing who our mother was." In 1958, a precocious 19-year-old Indian, Gopalan traveled thousands of miles from her home and family to...
Now, again, where's all this documentary type information about her black family? All I'm saying is that all of the stuff, all of the accounting, everything that they have, they've got a ton of information, right? We've seen a ton of repeat information. It's all for the same side of her family, though. Flag on the, throw the flag on the, it's a flag on the play. Flag on the play. Where is this documentary information for the black side of her family? When it comes to the black side of her family, the only thing that they ever show is like people that's allegedly her friends. This person was a friend of Kamala Harris. This person grew up with Kamala Harris. This person was somebody that she was real close to as a child. Do y'all notice that? All this information, and it's not that I'm not trying to avoid finding information about any part of blackness involving her. It's simply just not there. Simply not there. The only information about her father that I found was the information that links him to the country of Jamaica, to the city of Browns, I think it's Brownstown, which is named after some Irish slave owners. And he's a relative of them that he wrote about in his memoir. But as far as anything like definitively black, how would they said this woman right here, this one here, told Kamala Harris that she was black. Where did she get that information from? Because in these other places, like in the United States, where people call people black people, that was kind of something that was only going on here. So where would these two foreign people get the idea to call someone black? Like, just there's all kinds of questions that need to be answered with this. Right. Deneen chose violence again. Deneen said the black side is her babysitter. If y'all agree with Deneen, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down.
Pursue a doctorate in nutrition and endocrinology in America. She soon became an active civil rights crusader while studying at UC Berkeley.
Hold on, we gotta read this like the refs. No loss of yards, no minutes in the sin bin. Game over for her. Team plays. 1 down. Starting at the line of scrimmage. Let's go. Shout out to Hurricane IQ. What's good with it, bro?
Even that, she almost felt free. And she took part in politics.
Now, y'all seen this video. This is the one that this is the video that TD reacted to. This one right here. So if y'all, how many people in here subscribe to TD Media Group? If y'all seen TD Media Group's video from the other day, you know what I'm saying? Y'all probably don't really need to see this then, because we know about this, but you know what I'm saying? We're going to take another look at some of the local news. Well, we'll look at it. Shout out to Keep It 100. What's good with it, bro? We'll look at it. Let's look at it. We'll go ahead and look at it. Because like I said, again, where's the black people? Where are the equivalent footages, documentaries, and interviews about the black people? And again, who is she cooking these collard greens for? And where did she learn to cook the collard greens from? And how did she go from being a Hindu to a Baptist? I need all of those questions answered. Those are questions that we cannot progress forward with until I know the answer to.
She used to bring a whole series of literature, leftist literature from Karl Popper. So, he was a great philosopher.
In her book, Harris says, there is no title or honor on earth I'll treasure more than to say I am Shyamala Gopalan Harris's daughter. Harris's visits to India with her mother kept her connected to her roots. Her grandfather, who had strong views on humanitarian issues, worked closely with officials to reallocate refugees.
So, I mean, do y'all see how a lot of these people, I mean, like, a lot of these people, it just looked like they threw some conch in their hair. They look like Detroit Red before he stuck his head in the sink on the Malcolm X movie. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these people look like they could pass for Motown. They could be, you know what I'm saying, a member of the Temptations and just not say nothing. They'd be a member of the Spinners with the accent. I'll be around. Whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be around. You know what I'm saying? They'd be riding around on elephants singing Motown. Whenever you call me, I'll be there. Whenever you need me, I'll be there. I'll be around. Like, yeah, man. They could slip in and out the back door. Harlem Nights. You know what I'm saying? Throw that conch in there. Look at him. He look like he waiting to get a little package from Frank Lucas right there. Or Nikki Bonds, one of them.
On humanitarian issues, worked closely with officials to reallocate refugees. Their conversations had a strong influence on her.
Those walks along the beach in India really planted something in my mind and created a commitment in me before I even realized it. It has led me to where I am today.
Harris's maternal uncle, Gopalan Balachandran, who lives in Delhi, tells us how the senator turns to her amma, which means mother in Tamil, for guidance even after her death.
I don't have to tell her, make your mother proud. She said, what are you telling me? Everything that I do, I ask myself, would Amma approve of this?
Kamla in Hindi means lotus flower.
Now, where's the black people to do the interviews at? The little hood black people that they grew up with, you know what I'm saying? The old black person. Like, where's any of these people? They don't have, like, there's no adjacent interviews. Like, for all these people that they have on the mom side, they should have some adjacent, if there's any black people to do the interviews of. They ain't got none. They ain't got none. You know what I'm saying?
And is an important symbol in Indian culture, rooted deep in the bottom of the river. Very similar to Harris's Indian identity, which she wears.
Harris's Indian identity, which she wears. And then Trump started doing the thing with his hands, because you know it's about to go down when Trump started doing the slinky thing with his hands. And then she just became black. Trump's words. Now, you know, Joe Biden kind of crazy. He done lost it a little bit. And Joe Biden, they got to get rid of him and take him somewhere because he'll mess around and start giving up the CIA classified files. You know what I'm saying? We asked him about Kamala Harris, and it was one of the moments when something that slipped out. He said this.
You ain't black.
I shouldn't have said that.
That's why they got to put him up somewhere. He said, start asking him questions and he start answering them. Not got to go, Joe.
You ain't black.
Shout out to Jaghetto. Did I say it right? What's good with it, bro?
In the bottom of the river, very similar to Harris's Indian identity, which she wears on her sleeve. There's no doubt that the primary source of learning for Senator Harris was from her mother's experiences and the conversations that she had with her maternal grandfather when she visited India, which was very often accompanying her mother, or when the grandparents would visit them in America. Back to you, Rosemary.
It is an incredible story. Vedika Sood joining us.
Yeah, it is a very incredible story because now somehow magically in 2024, the story has come into question. You know what I'm saying? Now look at this. Hold on real quick. Yeah, they going in. AB Promotions. Hold on real quick. You still in here? I want y'all to see what they doing. This just can't. I'm trying not to laugh, man, because this is so funny, man. They keep saying that they're not doing anything. They going ham over there in India. Listen, do y'all hear me? Listen, look, they going ham over there. They partying over there like it's 1999, y'all. I am not playing. I am not playing. Look. They done put they like, you know, the people, you know, the DNC people, Charlemagne and them. Charlemagne and them like, put that big old sign away. Put that up. Put that behind the house somewhere. They ain't supposed to see that. They done left the sign out because they Now these people not supposed to be closely associated with her. But they got a whole sign with the language on there. And I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised if Kamala Harris could read the language that's written on this sign. Who them people down there at the bottom? I don't even know who they are. Who are those two down there? The one dude that looked like Nicolas Maduro and the other dude that looked like the other lady that works at the liquor store. You know what I'm saying? And they got the migrant mobile right next to the house. I don't know if y'all know about these type of roofs. These look like these roofs that they have in the Southwest. They look like the roofs in the Southwest. If you ever been to Arizona or Nevada, they got these, what do they call these? I forget what they call them, but that's how the roofs look.
Giant blue posters with photos of Kamala Harris are a usual sight here at Tulasendrapulam village. This is
now they don't care about her, right? And this is fake. This ain't Saturday Night Live. This is real. This is actually real. Look at her. She like, you damn right. I'm not gonna do nothing for black people.
giant blue posters with photos of Kamala Harris are a usual sight here at Tulasendrapulam village. This is in fact the ancestral village of Kamala Harris. Her maternal grandfather P.V. Gopalan was born here, and the temple on the other side of this street is the Dharmasastha temple, where Kamala Harris along with her mother had visited when she was 5 years old, and her family continues to offer donations to this temple. The last
Do you see that? Her family continues to offer donations to this temple. Do y'all think that these people just making this up? Now, here's the question. What does she donate? Shout out to Patrick. Yeah, they got the migrant mobile parked right in front of the house. Oh, man. Shout out to MoFax. MoFax said, Rob, I just thought about something. Charlemagne the God was pushing black and brown in his interview, which brown usually means Hispanic. Could brown in this case mean Indian? Wasn't that Mindy woman? Didn't she play Velma in the Scooby-Doo movie? The Mindy Kaling woman that Kamala Harris was cooking with. Now, the reason why I say that is because there was an interview about the Scooby-Doo movie, and Mindy called herself a brown girl. So I would say, yeah, it could. You know what I'm saying? I would definitely say, yeah, it could. She was singing Wade in the Curry at the gospel church. Wade in the Cuddy. Wade in the Cuddy. Wade in the Cuddy. Yeah, she was singing that at the gospel church at the temple. Why these people own so many temples? They all own a damn temple. JD Vance's wife owns a temple. They all got temples over there. You know what I'm saying? It's just interesting.
Harris, along with her mother, had visited when she was 5 years old, and her family continues to offer donations to this temple. The last donation made by Kamala Harris was in 2014 to this temple. Her family continues to offer donations for the temple's renovation, and many people here are very proud of the fact that Kamala Harris is in fact their own, and they say that this is the village where her family in fact have their roots, and they still have their connections with the temple here.
The family still has the roots. The family still got the connections to the temple right there. Where is the tour? We've seen, okay, right? They said that she's both. We've seen the tour, in the documentary of her Asian ancestry, right? Where is the tour and documentary of her blackness? Where is this information here about the black side? And here go my question for all the people that saying that, you know, people that make content like me is disinformation and misinformation and Russian bots and all of this. How is a question a Russian bot? How is a question disinformation? She said the village. Yeah, she did. She did say the she did say the village. She did say it. You know what I'm saying? Now, I want you guys to pay very close attention because it's not listen, the Asian people are not even fighting this battle. Do y'all notice that? There's no Asian people that are saying they all, I mean, look, we looking at the Asian news. This is where she's from. The Asian people are saying this is where she's from. The Asian people giving all the info up. It's do it sound like these people are trying to convince? There's no need to convince anybody that she's Asian. Like, I mean, they went back, you know what I'm saying? They went to the store where she had, they pulled up the family temple. There's no need to convince anybody of anything. Why is black people trying to convince us that she black? So I'm watching the Asian people. The Asian people got me convinced. The black people haven't provided no evidence like what the Asian people have provided. So if I'm looking at the Asian people sitting up here trying to quote unquote claim Kamala Harris, they got the ancestral village, they got the grandmother, they got the store that they shopped at when they was kids, they got the temple. I don't have no choice but to believe what the Asian people saying. Where the black evidence at? You know what I'm saying? There's no black. They get Charlemagne, or you know what I'm saying, they get some random person that supposedly was her friend or something like that. You know what I'm saying? They go through a deep Asian rabbit hole dive on all this information about her, you know what I'm saying, with her roots in India. This is why I keep asking, Patrick, you feel me now? Who is she making the greens for? She not making them greens for nobody right here that's on this picture right here. And we don't have no other pictures to say who those greens might be for. So people get offended. They don't want us talking about race. Okay, I'm not going to talk about race. We're going to turn it into being a foodie because y'all know how much I love food. Who's eating the greens? That's the question. That's the $1 million question. Who's eating the greens? Who taught her how to cook them? How'd she become a Baptist? How'd she become a Baptist? You know what I'm saying? Now, these people on YouTube sit up there and tell you, oh, she black, y'all, she black, y'all. But none of these people will have a video with evidence like this with any black people going back to anywhere where she was allegedly black at, you know what I'm saying, running down her childhood. This is the evidence that the Asian people got.
Sir, Kamala Harris இப்போ வந்துட்டு presidential elections win பண்றாங்க. அவங்க win பண்ணதுக்காக contest பண்றாங்க. இங்க இருந்து வராங்க. நீங்க எப்படி உங்களுக்கு எப்படி இந்த மொமெண்ட் இருக்கு?
ரொம்ப ஹாப்பியா இருக்கு மேடம். வைஸ் பிரசிடென்ட் இருந்தப்ப ஹாப்பியா தான் இருந்துச்சு. இப்போ வெரி வெரி ஹாப்பியா இருக்கு. ரொம்ப சந்தோஷமா இருக்கும்.
He says he's very happy that she's officially the candidate for the Democratic Party, and there's also a calendar here, if I can ask my camera person to show you, with with in fact Kamala Harris there. In 2020 they had this.
Why she got all them? Why they got her face all messed up with all them holes on it? They don't have no look like somebody went. Why? It's always the people that you know that have you messed up looking like that. Why they get the picture that somebody took an ice pick and just put it all through the Kamala Harris picture? You see Joe Biden in the picture laughing at her like, I feel bad for you. You know what I'm saying? But they took the ice pick and poked a whole bunch of holes in Kamala Harris' face on this picture, though. Why did they use this one? Why didn't they go get a different poster? Why didn't they get a brand new poster and just get and use a new poster instead of using this one that looked like they used it for AR-15 target practice on Kamala Harris' face? Like, I don't understand that. And I'm not threatening anybody, a YouTube manual reviewer. I'm talking about all these damn holes on this picture. I'm not talking about harming anyone. Read the disclaimer at the bottom. You know what I'm saying?
When she won as a vice president of the United States of America, இங்க வந்துட்டு அவங்க ஃபேமிலி வந்துட்டு அவங்க பூர்வீகமே இங்க தான்.
அவங்க பிவி கோபாலன் தாத்தா அவங்க பூர்வீகம் இங்க தான். அவங்க அம்மா சித்தி சரளா கோபாலன் சென்னை.
Listen, I'm not trying to be funny, but it's crazy. Shout out to the people that stay in the hood, or shout out to the people that stay in the metro area. It's crazy how they bring that cluttered store look to their stores in the United States. Because like if you ever been to like a gas station or like a little spot where like some Indians own it, it looked just like this on the inside, but like with American products. Y'all, if you live in the hood or you got any like Indian owned like convenience store or anything in your neighborhood, you know exactly what I mean. Like it looked exactly like this is like a cultural store setup. Like I would have never known that had I not watched this video. You know what I'm saying? But like this, it must be something cultural about how they set up the store, because the stores is all set up like this. You know what I'm saying? Like that's wild. This, like, I don't know what any of this is, but this look like a bodega. You know what I'm saying? I can't read none of these labels. I can't tell you what none of this stuff is, but I know they got candy up in there. You know what I'm saying? I know they got candy, and I know they got them Drake Sean black cigarettes in there and some beaties. You know what I'm saying? How many people ever smoked beaties? I know they got some beaties up in there. You know what I'm saying? But that's about it. I don't know what none of the rest of this stuff is. Like they got firecrackers that they selling it. You know what I'm saying? A fake purse over there, fanny pack.
இருக்காங்க. அவங்க அங்கிள் வந்து பாலச்சந்திரன் டெல்லியில இருக்காங்க. அவங்க எல்லாம் இங்க ரெகுலரா வருவாங்க போவாங்க. கோவிலுக்கு குலதெய்வம் இங்க தான். அடிக்கடி வருவாங்க.
So this is her ancestral village, and as per villagers here, Kamala Harris's family continues to visit this place. Her aunt, who is a resident of Chennai, Sarala Gopalan, continues to visit the temple here. This is an ancestral temple, therefore they visit. Her uncle, who is currently in Delhi, also visits every year. So they have.
Yeah, they sell. Listen, man, they sell everything at these stores. Listen, they sell everything at the stores, and then on the highest shelf, that's where they got the bong, the bubbler, the vaporizer, the crack pipe, and the meth pipe, all on the top shelf. Like where them things is hanging at, is a shelf on top of that shelf where they got all of the stuff that they could get in trouble for selling at. I don't know if they got that in India, but when they come to the United States, for sure, they get it somewhere and put it up there. You know what I'm saying? Or it's a place that's not allowed to sell liquor, and they got like, you know what I'm saying, they had like 2 bottles of Hennessy or something up there that they overcharging for, that you can buy after 11 o'clock if you live in one of the states where the liquor stores close early. You know what I'm saying?
Their ancestral roots here, and that still continues, is the word coming in. இப்போ வந்துட்டு அவங்க 2020 in 2020 they had grand celebrations when she won, and this time also they continue to pray and hope that she succeeds this time around as well. இந்த தடவை நீங்க என்ன மாதிரி plans வச்சிருக்கீங்க?
இல்ல அவங்க வின் பண்ணணும்னு ஆசைப்படுறோம். வின் பண்ணதுக்கு அப்புறம் வீடு செலிப்ரேஷன் பண்ணுவாங்க. எல்லார் வீட்லயுமே பண்ணுவாங்க. ஹேப்பியா இருக்கும்.
So they plan a grand celebration if Kamala Harris wins. Remember, Kamala Harris is a household name ever since 2020, because in 2020 when she won, we saw huge.
Kamala Harris is a household name. Now, let me ask y'all this. How many people ever seen the Indian news? If y'all ever seen the Indian news, give me a thumbs up. If y'all haven't seen the Indian news, give me a thumbs down. Now, according to the Indian news, channel 18, and as you guys can see, they got an NBC logo on the mic. Kamala Harris is a household name over there. She's a household name over there.
Celebrations.
Now, when I want to now, when Kamala Harris have a rally where they doing that at, I'm going to it. I'll be there. I'm going to that one. That sounds like the beginning of that Bloody Money. What is that? Bloody Money 3 with Noriega, with Capone and Noriega from the Belly soundtrack. New York, get the bloody money, dirty cash. That's what that sounds like.
2020 when she won, we saw huge celebrations.
Yeah, then Noriega come in. New York, get the bloody money, dirty cash. You monkey walk, hunchback, sneak quiet, talk about me gossip, scared to death when I pop up. You know what I'm saying?
Harris wins. Remember, Kamala Harris is a household name ever since 2020 because in 2020 when she won, we saw huge celebrations. This is the prayers conducted for Kamala Harris. You can see Archana performed by...
See, AV Promotions know what I'm talking about. What is it? It's Bloody Money 2 from the Belly soundtrack, I think. It's either Bloody Money 2 or Bloody Money 3 with Nature in the song too. You know what I'm saying?
Villagers of Tulasendrapuram. A lot of them are now praying that Kamala Harris succeeds this time. A lot of prayers, in fact, for Kamala Harris. Special prayers offered from milk abhishekams to special pujas being organized for Kamala Harris in the run-up.
Special pujas. They got all kind of pujas being organized for her. They ringing all kind of bells. So, yeah, man. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely going down. Look, we gonna definitely go into a little bit more of that tomorrow. We already spent 3 hours talking about that. We're going to go more into that tomorrow. Now, we're going to talk about for a very short time what the thumbnail was about, which is Elon Musk. Because we got to keep an eye on Elon Musk. Man, look, shout out to Patrick. Facts. Patrick said, boy, if she lose, we're going to be all kind of N-words to a lot of people, including them black shills. Facts. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Brooklyn Queen said the rest of them looking around like, who? Me too. I got my Sari and Curta ready for him. Yo, facts. Listen, when they do the Bloody Money 2 rally, that's the one I'm gonna be at. I want to go to that one. I don't want to go to the Nicki Minaj, or not the Nicki Minaj, but the Megan Thee Stallion and Quavo one. I want to go to that one. So when they do that one, I'm there. I'll be there for that one for sure. Now look at this. Elon Musk's anger over trans daughter triggered mission to destroy the woke mind virus because, you know, it doesn't have anything to do with his parenting. It didn't have anything to do with his parenting. How many people heard about this situation? If you guys heard about this, give me a thumbs up. If you guys did not hear about this, then give me a thumbs down. Anybody hear about this? So now that this has happened and Elon Musk is outraged about it, Elon Musk is on a mission. You know what I'm saying? Elon Musk is on a mission. And his mission is to, quote unquote, destroy the woke mind virus. The woke mind virus must be destroyed. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to take a look at this real quick. If you guys haven't smashed the like button yet, please take a moment, smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please help me out. Hit that bell, subscribe to the channel, and please share the stream to your social media. Give me 1 second because take a wild guess what's going on. Take a wild guess what's going on. Of course, it would be the computer acting up. There we go. Let me see. All right, there we go. Cool. I don't know why it does this. All right, cool. Here we go. Elon Musk's anger over trans daughter triggered mission to destroy the woke mind virus. I lost my son, essentially, Musk said in an interview about his transgender daughter who went to court in 2022 to legally sever ties with the billionaire. So the daughter, aka the son now, has legally severed ties with Elon Musk. which is wild. That means that the daughter doesn't want Elon Musk in his life anymore. Okay. Now, Liberty Twitcher, interestingly, doesn't think that Elon Musk's father parental skills had anything to do with it. Now, what's interesting about this also is that you're pushing disinformation, because in the Olympics, that woman that a lot of you people decided to just go walking around spinning your head and saying anything because you're used to walking around saying anything and not getting checked to the bone for it. Turns out that that woman was an actual woman. And another question that I have for you is that if your culture has such an issue with the woke stuff, why does your culture have the largest amount of monkeypox occurrences? Do you know how most people get monkeypox and who the demographic is that gets the most monkeypox? Whoa, whoa, whoa. I didn't realize this was a nutty broadcast. Sorry, bye. Whoa.
So dumb. You are really dumb. For real. Oh, you are so dumb. You are really dumb. For real.
Yeah, they wanted to identify her. They wanted to identify her as a man. You know, the same reason as always, because we beat them up pretty bad. You know what I'm saying? And turns out it's an actual woman. But they're going to keep with the narrative. And wow, I didn't realize that all those people were hallucinating. Now, that guy over there, make sure that everybody watches any crowded area that he goes into, because we'd hate for an incident to happen that he would initiate, because that's what them people on Twitch do. They stream to Twitch before they hurt a bunch of people. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying. So now here it says Elon Musk has once again suggested that his adult transgender daughter. Now here's an actual transgender that we could talk about, right? But that individual on Twitch decided to say that an individual who's not a transgender was the transgender. Is anybody surprised? Is anybody shocked? Whoa, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Had no agency in deciding their own destiny, proclaiming in a new interview that she was deleted by the woke mind virus after he was tricked into giving his consent for puberty blockers. In an interview with controversial Canadian psychologist Jordan Peterson, the world's richest man also explained that his estrangement from his 20-year-old daughter, Vivian Jenna Wilson, triggered his mission to quote unquote destroy the woke mind virus. Actually, I would say his genetics from being a apartheid descendant actually triggers his mission to destroy blackness. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. We're not letting him get out of that easy. This dude is an apartheid piece of crap and is absolutely responsible for the sins of his father. These people claim to be Christian. This is one of the reasons why I have an issue with religion. These people claim to be Christian. How many times in the Bible have you heard of generational curses being passed down because an ancestor didn't do something right? Aren't all of us allegedly the result of a generational curse from Adam and Eve? Aren't all of us being held accountable for original sin, allegedly? So these alleged Christians will sit there and say, we can't be held accountable for the sins of our fathers, when literally, according to their religion, every human is being held accountable for the sins of the alleged first two humans. It's one of the reasons why I can't rock with it. I can't rock with it. I can't do it, man. I respect y'all people that do it, but I don't. And that's one of the reasons why I don't. I don't do that stuff that don't make sense. I don't do that stuff that don't make sense. You know what I'm saying? So now here says the Daily Wire interview comes a week after Musk announced his decision to move the headquarters of his companies, SpaceX and X, out of California after Governor Gavin Newsom signed a bill to prevent public school districts from requiring notifications of their parents if their child starts using different pronouns or identifies as a different gender from what's on their school record. I don't understand how it's okay for a school to hide information from a minor's parent. I don't think that that's okay. What do you guys think? If you guys agree with that, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. I think that that's a huge problem. You know what I'm saying? In a broader sense, Musk also explained to Peterson that his aggravation with transgender rights and gender-affirming care coincided with his embrace of some aspects of the right-wing agenda, along with his new enthusiastic support for Donald Trump's presidential election campaign. Now, if anybody recalls, Elon Musk used to be anti-Trump. Elon Musk actually was pro DeSantis, right? So we got to hold Elon Musk to his hypocrisy and his side switching, because, bro, you a hypocrite and you switch sides. You know what I'm saying? Elon Musk is a side switching hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? Elon Musk is definitely a side-switching hypocrite. So now here it says, notably in his interview with Peterson, Musk did not admit that he may have had a role in his estrangement from his daughter. Now, why wouldn't he admit that? Why wouldn't he admit that? He certainly didn't mention her headline-making move in 2022 to petition the court to legally change her name and to be recognized as a woman. Wilson's petition had also asked to no longer be related to her father in any way, shape, or form. She is the daughter of Musk's first wife, Justine Wilson, who once described the father of 12 by 3 separate women as a difficult, controlling, and patriarchal man to live with. Okay? Perhaps in a sign of Musk's controlling nature, he did not refer to his child as his daughter when talking to Peterson. Rather, he continued to refer to Wilson as his son and to use her quote-unquote dead name. I lost my son, essentially, Musk said. They call it dead naming for a reason. The reason they call it dead naming is because your son is dead. My son, Xavier, is dead, deleted by the woke mind virus. Okay, now, mind you, again, he's not taking any accountability for his own parenting failures. Yeah, shout out to Hurricane. If you guys agree with Hurricane, there it is. Somebody else's fault. Blame shifting. If you guys can see the blame shifting, then give me a thumbs up. If you guys don't see the blame shifting, then give me a thumbs down. And also, shout out to everybody that's watching. I really appreciate everybody being here. If you guys haven't smashed that like button, we really need you to take a moment. Smash that like button. Also, if you guys haven't hit the bell, please take a moment, hit that bell, and subscribe to the channel. We only need 25 more likes to get to our 100. I know we can do that before the end of the stream. Okay. After the two engaged in a wide-ranging conversation about religion, environmentalism, Musk's childhood existential crisis, the billionaire's opposition to unions and diversity, equity and inclusion initiatives, his mission to boost global birth rates. Now, who is he talking about? Because he's definitely not talking about black people. And his view that the Republicans now represent American ideals of mediocrity and personal freedom. Like Musk, Peterson has drawn the ire of transgender rights activists for complaining about the use of gender-neutral pronouns. Musk first came under fire in July of 2020 when he tweeted that pronouns suck. His partner at the time, the singer Grimes, was outraged, saying, "I cannot support hate. Please stop this. I know this isn't in your heart." Okay. Now, this is interesting. I don't even know what this is, but I got to look at this. Hold on real quick. This might be something that we look at a little bit later. Oh, yeah, this is actually going to be good. This is actually going to be good. I can't wait. We got some good streams. Are you guys excited? We definitely got some good streams coming up. We got some good streams coming up. A lot of information, man. I'm going to have to get this stuff out. In Musk's conversation with Peterson, the media personality reiterated his opposition to gender confirmation surgery, saying the term itself is a euphemism for the worst medical and psychological malpractice I've seen anywhere. Musk confirmed that his views on transgender people arose from his experience with his daughter, whom he continued to refer to as his son in the interview. The South African-born entrepreneur says, "I was essentially tricked into signing documents for one of my older boys, Xavier." Now, here goes my question. How does he give any details on how he was, quote unquote, allegedly tricked? And again, if this dude is so smart, he's sending, spaceships all over the place, and he plans on colonizing Mars and doing all this stuff. How did he get tricked to, do this? And why didn't he read the fine print? He's a businessman, signed all kind of mega contracts. Like, bro, you ain't signed a fine print. And why didn't you have a legal team look at the paperwork? You a billionaire. You don't have a lawyer look over everything that you sign? What's wrong with you? How did you get tricked? If you got $1 billion, how do you get tricked? There's no excuse for you. There's no excuse for you. Let me ask you guys this question. What is the excuse for him? Somebody tell me what the excuse for this is. This is before I had any understanding of what was going on. Must continue. If you didn't have no understanding of what was going on, why'd you sign the documents? Right, he was tricked. You're a victim. You're a victim. You're a victim. How are you tricked? You got a whole legal team for all of your businesses, but instead you was tricked. They came in through the ceiling, put the blindfold on you, made you sign a paper like, come on, man, stop it. He said that COVID was going on and there was a lot of confusion, and I was told Xavier might commit suicide if he doesn't. Why didn't you just get him put into a 24-hour or some type of mental observation place? At the mention of suicide, Peterson railed against the idea that transgender youth are at greater risk of suicide than other children, stating that underlying depression and anxiety cause higher suicide rates in transgender youth than gender dysphoria. With this statement, Peterson showed he had no use for surveys from organizations like the Trevor Project, a suicide prevention nonprofit focused on LGBTQ plus young people. In a 2024 survey on the mental health of LGBTQ plus young people in the United States, ages 13 through 24, the Trevor Project reported that 39% of LGBTQ plus young people seriously considered attempting suicide in the past year. This number included 46% of transgender and non-binary young people. Okay. But like Peterson, Musk appeared to discount such surveys by saying that almost every child goes through some type of identity crisis. So now here's again. So how can you just say every child? You don't have any data that suggests that. How can you just make, well, every child goes through some type of identity crisis? Why? Because you said so? Where's your evidence that every child goes through an identity crisis? And what kind of identity crisis do these children go through? Let me ask you guys this question. Shout out to everybody that's in the building. To the parents who are in here, how many of you all's children went through an identity crisis? If your children went through an identity crisis, put a thumbs up in the chat. If your children did not go through an identity crisis, then put a thumbs down in the chat. I would go as far as to say my assumption is that most people's child did not go through an identity crisis. If that was the case and everybody's child went through an identity crisis, the school psychologist would have been a lot busier than they were. They probably would have needed more than one. Yeah, that sounds a little bit more accurate. Yeah, shout out to Tetra. Yeah, that's his excuse for the bad parenting. That's the excuse. Whoa, I didn't know this was I didn't know this was a crazy stream. You should have known it was a crazy stream. We're talking about crazy people. You know what I'm saying? He also asserted that it's very possible for adults to manipulate a child into having an identity crisis, to believe they are the wrong gender and therefore need sterilization drugs or double mastectomies. Now, I do believe that adults, you know what I'm saying, could influence a child. I do believe that. Therefore, Musk said he had made it his mission to, quote unquote, stamp out gender confirmation procedures for children in the wake of his daughter's transition and estrangement. Back in 2022, he also complained to the Financial Times that his daughter's decision to distance herself was caused by, quote unquote, neo-Marxists at educational institutions. Okay? Neo-Marxists at education institutions. Now, here goes my question. When he says this, what is he talking about? What is he talking about? Okay? I vowed to destroy the woke mind virus after that, Musk told Peterson, and we're making some progress. Now, listen, Elon Musk is a white billionaire that's dedicated to a mission of anti-blackness. Black death, destruction, and genocide. Would you guys agree? If you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If you guys disagree, give me a thumbs down. He's an apartheid descendant that has come to the United States and has allied himself with Adosos. And he's a billionaire. My question is, where are our billionaires who are dedicated to the destruction of the WS mind virus? And what are we doing to create one? Or two, or three, or a million? Because when you have an individual like Elon Musk who is anti-black, that's damn near the same as having an entire country and a military that's anti-black that just happens to be one person. So there needs to be something to counteract this, right? He's saying he's making progress. If he's saying he's making progress, then that equates to he's effectively harming black people, which we know that he is if we look at a lot of the recent lawsuits that have been going on with his companies, Tesla and a bunch of other places, right? So now my question is, what are people doing to counteract this? Nothing. And another thing that people are doing is just not talking about it because, you know, why talk about it? Perhaps Musk's idea of progress is relocating the headquarters for SpaceX and his social media platform X from California to Texas. Musk made the move over Newsom's signing of AB 1955. Now, let me ask you guys this question. What is AB 1955? What is AB 1955? Is that something that people should be concerned with? Now, if you ask me, right, Gavin Newsom did this AB 1955, right? Gavin Newsom did this AB 1955. I wouldn't be surprised if some type of AB 1955 like program gets done and pushed by Kamala Harris if she becomes the president. I could see that happening. Would you guys, if you guys agree, give me a thumbs up. If y'all disagree, give me a thumbs down. In a post on X last week, Musk cited several criticisms he has of California and doing business in San Francisco. But he said the new state law on transgender notification policies was the final straw, saying that they are an attack on both families and companies. I did make it clear to Governor Newsom about a year ago that laws of this nature would force families and companies to leave California to protect their children, Musk told Peterson. As for Musk's support for Trump in the 2024 election, he insisted that he doesn't subscribe to the cult of personality that surrounds Trump. He says, we've got a choice of administrations. We have to pick one. What does that mean? Musk acknowledged that there are flaws on both sides. Once he viewed the Democratic Party as being the party for meritocracy, personal freedom, and free speech. But he believes the Republicans now represent those values, while also railing against DEI policies, which he said are another form of racism and sexism. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How are the DEI policies racism and sexism in his mind? And now here's my question. As a business owner, who has his companies been racist and sexist against using DEI? Who are the racism and sexism victims of his companies through the DEI initiatives? That's a fair question, isn't it? How many people would agree? Is that a fair question? On July 13, Musk let the world know that he was endorsing Trump because he was impressed by the way Trump reacted shortly after he was injured in an assassination attempt at a Pennsylvania campaign rally. A lot of people seem to be pretty impressed with how he reacted. A lot of people, not just Elon Musk, a lot of people. A lot of people. If you ask me, he did what his basic human duty is to do. Survived. I mean, that's what we're all supposed to do every day with any obstacle that comes our way. If you are a living organism, your perpetual mission is to avoid death. You know what I'm saying? On X, Musk showed a post showing Trump with his fist raised in the air as Secret Service agents tried to rush him off stage. I fully endorse President Trump and hope for his rapid recovery, Musk wrote. In the past, now pay attention to this, Musk had given small amounts of money to candidates from both parties and used to be primarily a Democratic donor, CNN reported. But he has said for several years that the Democrats have moved too far to the left for him to support many of its candidates. Now, when they say that the Democrats have moved too far to the left to support any of their candidates, what does that mean? What does that mean when they say that? Now, with Elon Musk in full support of Trump and Elon Musk probably funneling a good amount of money to the Trump campaign, my question is, if Trump is elected as the president, what do you all see Elon Musk getting from Trump? What do y'all see him getting from Trump? Yeah. DEI known as black people getting a job. Yeah, which one of the reasons why we've got to cut their employment out of the picture. We got to be employing ourselves. In his interview with Peterson, for example, the maker of electric vehicles and supporter of the Paris Climate Accord referred to himself as environmentalist, but said the environment movement had gone too far with his views that humans are a blight on the earth. After Musk's endorsement of Trump, the Wall Street Journal reported that Musk had gone all in for Trump to the point he had made a pledge to support the former president's campaign by committing $45 million a month to a new super PAC. However, in his interview with Peterson, Musk denied donating $45 million to Trump. That's simply not true, he said. However, he acknowledged that he had started the super PAC. Okay. Now, let me ask you guys this question. How many people know about Elon Musk's drama with the company called OpenAI? If you guys know about the drama between Elon Musk and the company OpenAI, give me a thumbs up. If you're not familiar, then give me a thumbs down. Let me see. Hold on real quick. Oh, you know what? There we go. Let's see, hold on. If you guys can hear me okay, give me a thumbs up. If you guys can't hear me, give me a thumbs down. My bad. Having a little technical difficulty. It's this website here. Yeah, we're going to cover. It might be too late to cover it. We'll see, because I think that the court case, for the most part, is already done and taken care of. But if it's not, we'll definitely take care. We'll take a look at it. But Elon Musk is having a little beef with OpenAI because he was one of the people that started the OpenAI project. And then OpenAI started to grow and started to, you know what I'm saying? I guess the mission wasn't consistent with what Elon Musk had originally wanted them to do. So, you know, then he kind of started saying, well, I'm going to cut off the funding. And they got into a court battle. And, you know what I'm saying? It was going down. You know what I'm saying? Now, you guys seen a community post that I did, right? Elon Musk threatens Venezuela's Maduro. I'm coming for you. You know these two supposed to fight, right? Who y'all think will win between Elon Musk and Nicolas Maduro? Y'all already know I got my money on Maduro. But who do y'all think? Who do y'all think will win? Ex-owner Elon Musk on Wednesday appeared to threaten Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro. Like, we got people that are business people sitting up here threatening politicians. Yeah, I got my money on Nicolas Maduro too. Let me ask y'all this. How problematic do y'all think it is that Elon Musk is just running around threatening politicians? I don't think that that's a good idea. On Thursday, the U.S. recognized Venezuelan opposition candidate Edmund Gonzalez as the winner of the South American country's presidential election, despite Venezuelan election officials announcing Maduro as the victor. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said the U.S. determination was in response to overwhelming evidence. Now, what was the overwhelming evidence? What was the overwhelming evidence? There's not been any, like, nobody has put anything out that's like solid, verified evidence of this. You know what I'm saying? Hold on real quick. My bad. Musk took to X to share his reaction to videos from Venezuela showing a gathering of armed soldiers. A caption included with the clip suggested the troops were preparing for Musk to attack them with space lasers. I'm coming for you, Maduro, Musk wrote, adding the emojis depicting a bomb and a rocket. I mean, like, this is the stuff that Elon Musk is out here doing. And it's not, they call it a tongue-in-cheek remark, but that's not a tongue-in-cheek remark, man. Like, if Elon Musk said this stuff about you, how many of you all would take that as a valid threat? How many people would take this as a valid threat? If Elon Musk said this about you, would you take this as a valid threat? The tongue-in-cheek remark comes amid intense political strife in Venezuela. Opposition leader Maria Corina Machado on Thursday wrote in a Wall Street Journal op-ed that the country is depending on international support in the wake of the election. After this spontaneous protests broke out, especially in poor sectors of Caracas and other cities. Mr. Maduro responded with brutal repression, she wrote. The state security forces have deleted at least 20 Venezuelans, imprisoned more than 1,000, and forced 11 disappearances. Okay. Musk this week also publicly shamed Maduro via X. The Venezuelan president reportedly responded by calling Musk a deleter and accused the tech entrepreneur of financing Venezuelan protests. Whoever messes with me becomes withered, Maduro added. Oh, wow. So, you know what I'm saying? Elon Musk, if he ain't careful, he gonna mess around and end up withered. He's gonna mess around and end up withered. You know what I'm saying? That's heavy. You know what I'm saying? It's pretty heavy. Now, let me see something here. We got some more stuff about this situation, this beef between Elon Musk and Nicolas Maduro. Shout out to my man AB Promotions. Make sure y'all show AB Promotions some love. Throw some flames, some radiation emoji, and some ducks in the chat for my man AB Promotions, funding the organization.
How do you think that we fund this organization, huh? We're not exactly the March of Dimes.
Cash rules everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar, dollar bill, yo.
Yeah, my bad, y'all. Shout out to AB. AB says, appreciate content that edifies. Yo, I appreciate it, bro. Shout out to y'all, man. We got 12 stream sponsors. I definitely appreciate it. So we got more content about this whole Elon Musk situation and Nicolas Maduro that we got to run through. And then also, I don't know if anybody's aware, but there's the issue going on with Iran, right? How many people have heard about what's going on with Iran in Israel? If you guys are familiar with what's going on with Iran and Israel, give me a thumbs up. Apparently, Iran is scheduled to do some type of retaliatory attack that may occur against Israel, right? So that's going down. We're going to cover that. We talked about that. But what we're going to talk about for the most part tomorrow is we're going to talk about Kamala Harris's policies. This is going to be a strict policy discussion. Okay? It's going to be a strict policy discussion. Later on, we're going to talk about Trump and some money issues. Okay? Now, there might be some streams in between those, right? But it's extremely important. Make sure you guys watch the stream all the way through to the end. Hit the bell icon at the end of the stream when you get put into the next window, and also hit the like. It's extremely important. All right, I definitely need y'all to do that. So we're gonna take a look at all of this stuff. All right. I want to shout out the 12 stream sponsors. As you guys know, this is impossible without you all. Shout out to y'all. I definitely appreciate it. Shout out to my man DSB. Make sure y'all show DSB some love. Shout out to AB Promotions. I appreciate you, bro. Shout out to Al McCowan. Definitely appreciate it, bro. Shout out to the 6'4". Shout out to my man Yoshi Mori. Shout out to AB Promotions. Shout out to Rick Guillory. Shout out to Patrick Tyler. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Shout out to my man Win Loser Rug. Shout out to Brooklyn Queen. Shout out to AB Promotions. I definitely appreciate it. All right. Also, if you're not subscribed to the backup channels, take a moment, subscribe to the backup channels. The best thing to do is join the Discord. If you're not part of the Discord, if one of the mods could put the link to the Discord in the chat, or you guys could hit that link that's pinned in the description box. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, wait until after the music. Y'all know what to do. I appreciate y'all. I will catch y'all on the next one.
Walk up in this life. Yeah, I'm really talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him. Don't believe me? Come and see me. Got 3 wishes from my genie. Now I'm on your local TV. Y'all on tour, got demons. Say she wanna come and see me when I'm in a local city. I'm like, pause though. Please step aside so they can see me. And I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. I'm the realest from my city. That's on money, that's on TV, that's on mamas. Nigga, don't believe me, come and see me. I been dodging all that fake. All these niggas working broke, but I been getting paid. All that know me from the street. Flexing for what feature, that's like every other week. Talk behind my back, I kick my feet up, have a seat. Cause at the end of the day, all these watching me as I walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. On God. Walk up in this light. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like I'm really him. Hold up. Look, walking this bitch like, hey. Yeah, I'm really him. Talking my shit like, hey. I'm really him, hold up.